products there.
China will fight to the end, according to the country's Commerce Ministry, warning that if the US imposes even more tariffs on Chinese goods, Beijing has countermeasures up its sleeve. It's also described as groundless, President Trump's claim that his tariffs are reciprocal. Typical unilateral bullying is how the Chinese see things.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Stock markets are higher overseas, so are stock futures here ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. Florida rallies to beat Houston 65-63, winning the NCAA men's college basketball title.
The Cougars had the ball in the final seconds with a chance to win, but Houston was unable to get a shot on the basket. Gator star Walter Clayton Jr. scored 11 points, all of which came in the second half.
Fox's Joe Morgan. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 580 head of cattle sold on Monday, following some much-needed moisture in the drawn area on a lower market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves, feeder cattle sold 15 to 25 lower on very limited receipts. Packer cows and bulls, 3 to 5 lowers on limited receipts. 3 to 400 pound steers, $4, $4.45. 3 to 400 pound heifers, $3.62 to $3.75. 4 to 500 pound steers, $3.65, $4. 4 to 500 pound heifers, $3.20, $3.62. 5 to 600 pound steers, $3.10, $3.65. 5 to 600 pound heifers, $2.80, $3.20. 6 700 pound steers, $2.75, $3.10. 6 700 pound heifers, $2.55, $2.80. 7 to 800 pound steers and 7 to 800 pound heifers not well tested this week. Packer cows, $138, $142. Canner and cutter cows, $130, $135. Packer bulls, $160, $160, $250. Feeder bulls, $140, $145. Top half the cow calf pairs, $3,000 to $3,350 per pair. Top half the bred cows, $2,600 to $2,950 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Imagine a world where teams wore plain, uninspired uniforms. Functional? Sure. Eye-catching? Hardly. But as times evolved, so did the demand for standout styles. Entered the era of awesome graphics. Located at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs, New Mexico, they revolutionized team and work attire. Their secret? High-quality FR uniforms from renowned brands like Ariat, Lapco, Byrne, and Bulwark, paired with cutting-edge technology for vibrant, multicolored logos. Awesome Graphics bridges the gap, offering both sports and industrial uniforms that don't just fit well, they inspire. From Nike office shirts to Adidas and Oakley designs, they ensure every team and staff look as professional as they perform. They're not just about appearances at Awesome Graphics, they're about empowering teams. So if you're in Southeast New Mexico and need uniforms that speak volumes, the choice is clear. Visit myawesomegraphics.com and discover how they can elevate your team's image. Awesome Graphics, where style meets performance.
American Oil and Natural Gas provides a reliable energy solution, powers our economy, and ensures energy independence over foreign sources. As one of the country's leading producers, Coterra Energy has a responsibility to help meet these needs. They're growing their team and bringing on new team members who are passionate about energy and making a difference in the Permian Basin. New team members receive a sign-on bonus and have access to an incredible benefits package. To apply, text Coterra to 71441. That's COTERRA to 71441. Coterra Energy is an equal opportunity employer.
Pharmacy 575 is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Jessica Barrera to their team. From primary care to minor injuries, she is ready to care for our community. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are preferred. Offering the My Daily medication program with pre-dose packaging, wellness consultations, weight loss plans, and more. Go see Pharmacy 575 at 305 East Sanger, Suite 600, or call 575-263-2908. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pharmacy 575. Your health, their priority.
I'm Rob Rispoli. Call me VA Rob. I've been partnered with Indigo Mortgage for many years. We make the VA loan process easy, especially for first-time VA homebuyers. We help you overcome any concerns about your credit history and current debt, what's needed for a down payment, and help determine what you can afford. Avoid the high fees and runaround from national lenders. No one cares more about your VA loan than VA Rob. Learn more and apply online. VARob.net, proudly serving vets. NMLS 993-177 and 188-348.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling, LLC. Over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Again, in the morning, the forecast over southeast New Mexico on this Tuesday. Very nice day. Temperatures in Roswell at 82 degrees. Carlsbad and Artesia moving into the upper 70s this afternoon, almost 80 degrees. Our radio studios in Lovington at 75 degrees, but wow, a big jump in temperatures. In Lovington tomorrow at our studios, 86 degrees for a high and 90 degrees for a high in Carlsbad.
Your country plays on W105.
Oh my God! Have your attention, please. It's a show that hit. Let's go quickly. You're on.
Oh, that sounds great. Hey, yo, stop the show. Don't try to stop me, 'cause I gotta go. Action!
Are you ready? Let's roll.
Your morning show powered by your Ford dealer. Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford. Broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. The question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply with the largest selection of parts for heavy trucks and semis. Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to us. Text line brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer.
Move it, move it, move it.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Why are you up so early?
Why are you up so early?
Early bird gets the worm. And also,
Going to be a terrific show.
Tuesday morning show.
It's a terrific Tuesday. Tuesday.
Tuesday. That's terrific.
What's terrific?
My favorite show.
Favorite show. Terrific. That's just terrific. This is just terrific. Terrific Tuesday.
Let's get ready.
It's showtime.
Championship is in the balance. Florida leads it by 2. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Sharp. He won. He can't touch it. He can't. 1 second. And it's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world. It's a great day to be a Gator. They win the national title. Houston did not get a shot off. Florida 65. Houston 63.
As much as I hate the Florida Gators, chomp, congratulations to the Gators last night.
No, Tom cost me $50 by picking the Cougars, and they lose.
Yeah, well, whoever he picks, usually they do not.
Well,
they do not.
Unlike Tom, I picked mine from the beginning. He didn't pick his until last night.
Yeah, well, we're used to that already.
There's 0-3, man, in the national title games. It's sad.
That's
so
like your picks. 0-3.
Yeah, whatever reason, Blake thought I was off today.
I heard.
Yeah, what's up with that, B? When are you off?
I was like, what? When he told me that, no, I won't be off until the 22nd.
I have this whole stack of show prep and everything. So
yeah, usually if I'm off, I will send emails and I'll talk about it the day before. So,
okay,
but we appreciate you, Blake. We do. Yeah.
Well,
so the question
we
of
had
the day.
talked about it, but I mean,
yeah. All right, our number 877-396-W105. Text line being brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Find them at amigo-machinery.com. Blake, the question of the day is
what do you keep doing that you should stop doing?
Oh Lord.
What do you keep doing that you should stop doing?
Are we
I'll answer that. We'll come back to it in just a second. Question of the day being brought to you by Lovington Auto and Truck Parts. They've got everything you need for your big truck, your semi, heavy-duty truck. And today, get this, starting at 8 o'clock this morning until close, it is the big sales event. Come out, see the big Napa rock and roll tool truck, 30% off Milwaukee, DeWalt, Carlisle, and other big name brands. 30% off the Portacools, and 40% off of filters. Right now, the big spring tool and filter sale going on at Lovington Auto and Truck Supply. Visit them, 1017 West Avenue D in Lovington. And, of course, broadcasting from the End of the Mountain God studio, and we're powered by our buddy Permian Ford. Permian Ford, stop by and see Daniel today, and they sent me something last night. Right here. Text Daniel at 575-441-7855 with the radio discount code Breakfast Club, and check him out today at Permian Ford and Hobbs, the home of the new Big Blue Gorilla. Check them out today. Today is Dog Farting Day. It's actually Dog Farting Awareness Day. Let me say, Frenchies are well known for farting. Whew, man. There were times I'm like, Tom May is in my house.
Any of the bull breeds.
Really?
Yeah. Any of the bulldogs.
Yeah. They've got stomach issues to begin with. Yeah. Free Cone Day, International Be Kind to a Lawyer Day, Feng Shui Day. Tom, what is that?
It's Feng Shui.
Feng Shui.
Feng.
What is that?
Like fang, like your fangs.
Feng
Shui.
Feng Shui. What is that, Monica?
Feng Shui.
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me last year, I'd known. I don't remember.
Okay, so what it is it's arranging your space so that it's in harmony with nature.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Like your workspace or your home space or any space?
Yes.
Yeah, anything, any space. And there are designers that will come out and do that for you.
It's like you don't put your bed under a window.
Yeah.
Okay.
And things like that.
Okay.
National All Is Ours Day, National Dogfighting Awareness Day, Empanada Day, Step into the Spotlight Day, Trading Cards for Grown-Ups Day, and Zoo Lovers Day happening all day today. It's already 6:12. Former First Lady Michelle Obama's new podcast came in. Spotify at number 34. Not doing really, really well. You would think with the name recognition that it would come in pretty high, but they are saying now they're going to make the prisoners at Gitmo listen to it, and they will relinquish all information they might have. Gitmo. They're going to use it as a weapon. Yeah. People would rather listen to something more pleasant like Tom doing, Yeah, that would be more.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, any of those. Nintendo recently said that pre-orders for the Switch 2 gaming console will be delayed due to concerns over the new global tariffs.
Uh-oh.
So why would you delay that knowing the tariffs are coming? And so this is going to be big problems for parents. And, because Switch 2 is supposed to be the business. And can't wait for it to come out. A lot of people will be spending money on the Switch 2 instead of their girlfriend. Wait,
they have a girlfriend?
Well, yeah, that would be that was my point. But Switch 2 could hit because I don't know where the Switch 2 is made.
Gotcha.
Nintendo's Japanese, isn't it?
Yes.
Switzerland, isn't it?
No, not Switzerland.
No, it's not Switzerland. How do you get Nintendo
It's Japanese,
out of
Tom.
Switzerland?
I don't know. They're close to each other.
Switzerland and Japan?
It was 613 when he started this.
Oh, my Lord. How is Switzerland and Japan close to each other?
Well, because Japanese eat a lot of cheese.
What?
And what does cheese have to do with Switzerland?
Well, they trade back and forth.
Don't eat a lot of cheese.
Oh, my Lord. Longtime drummer for Blondie, played a key role in the new wave movement back in the day. Actually appeared on albums with Pete Townsend and Iggy Pop, and Bob Dylan. Passed away. He was 70 years old. His name was Glenn Burke.
Yep. And when Keith Moon died from The Who, he kicked over his drum set on stage in honor of Keith Moon.
Aww.
Yeah. So Glenn Burke, drummer for Blondie, passed away. It looks like Paul Simon and his wife, Edie Brickell, sold their Connecticut estate and took a $6 million loss. They sold it to Richard Gere. And coincidence or not, they saw trucks delivering gerbils over the weekend. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. I lost the cap for my highlighter. God bless America. All right, 6:15. We'll check and find out what's going on with the text line. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across southeast New Mexico. They've got you covered with siding, roofing. They can do take care of all your windows and doors. Can you imagine the energy you're losing because it's leaking out of your windows and doors? Think about that. You could save a lot of money and energy savings. Get in touch with Seminole Siding today. And if you need any type of metal buildings erected, they do commercial and industrial metal buildings. They get out there and get the job done. And do it right the first time. Call them 575-391-1430. Seminole Siding and Construction.com for more information. Southeast New Mexico, sunny today, 78, clear tonight, 46, 86 and sunny tomorrow. Wind will not be a factor in Southeast New Mexico over the next couple days. 66 for the high today, 15-mile-an-hour winds in Ruidoso and Lincoln County. Clear, 44 tonight, and then 74 tomorrow, and sunny skies are expected for your Wednesday in Lincoln County. And Albuquerque this morning, sunny and 79, winds less than 10 miles an hour, 42 and clear tonight, 83 and sunny coming up tomorrow. It looks like we're going to be in the 80s in Albuquerque throughout the rest of the week. 5-day forecast. Check it out. W105radio.com. Quick check of the weather this morning. Being brought to you by Finn's Country Market. You can find them in Artesia. Big savings going on right now, like fryer thighs and drumsticks, 99 cents a pound. Pork chops, quarter loin, $1.69 a pound. The London broil is just $4.99 a pound, and 73% lean ground beef is $3.29 a pound. Plus, in the produce department, get asparagus, $1.79 a pound, juicy cantaloupes, $2.99 a pound, avocados, 5-count bag, $2.99. Roma tomatoes, 2 pounds for just $1. Tampico punch, get 2 gallons for $4. Nice. And the deli department, get split top wheat bread, $1.68 a loaf, plus oven roasted turkey breast, $6.99 a pound. Off the bone ham for $5.99 a pound, and American cheese, $6.99 a pound. And if you're looking for refreshments, they've got you covered with Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Big Red, other flavors too. 2 12-packs for $11. It's all at Finn's, and don't forget, try their delicious made-from-scratch tortillas today. Third baby surrendered to a Safe Haven baby box in Hobbs at the fire station. So another baby surrendered in Hobbs at Fire Station 1. That makes the third surrender since they put that box open.
Yep.
That was May 9th of 2023.
Yep.
And let me be the first to say I was wrong. I'm a little different than Tom. When I'm wrong, I can say I'm wrong. I thought it was a bad investment because it's about $60,000 per box.
Right. It's about it's really only about half of that.
Really?
Yeah.
And so I said, we already have a process. They can drop the baby off at the fire station. Mm-hmm. They can drop the baby off at the police station or at the hospitals.
Right.
So but I changed my mind about the baby box.
And the reason I think the baby box is more effective is because once the mother, or I guess it could be the father, put the baby in the box, and it is secure, and it's a very secure, good location. It's about a little over 30 seconds before the alarm alerts fire personnel that they're there to give them time to leave, right? Whereas if they went just straight into the fire station or the hospital or whatever, people would know who they are. And I think that's part of it.
I get that. Now, CYFD has taken a different road and said, no, we need to know who these people are. I think that's 100% wrong.
Right.
The point of the baby box is to protect them.
Yes.
And allowing them to walk away from these babies so hopefully they can get into a better situation.
And once they shut that door, that outside door cannot be reopened until the box is reset. So they can't just change their mind.
Gotcha.
Supreme Court, a win for Donald Trump yesterday. Supreme Court allows the Trump administration to enforce deportation of gang members using the Alien Enemies Act from 1798. There was a surprise vote on this. Tom, did you see the surprise vote?
No, I did not.
I saw it on your Facebook this morning. I was shocked.
Tom, you don't even watch the news, so you're part of a news show, but you don't even watch the news.
I watched the news.
Way to go.
I didn't watch that particular news item.
How can you watch the news? It was the number one story on the news.
I didn't see it.
It was breaking.
You need to turn off the Hallmark channel and at least turn on and find out what's going on.
I put on my little news feature and I kept going clip to clip to clip.
What, like what, CNN?
Every one of them. I got
This
all
was
of them.
the number one news. If you did a search on Fox right now, on CNN, it is the number one thing that is up.
You don't even have to do a search. You just go to their homepage.
Right.
It's the number one story.
Dude, put together a little effort, man. Just a tad bit. Just a little bit of effort.
I was
just
busy
this much.
with my bus. I have no heat in my bus. I was trying to fix it.
Oh, please. There's an excuse every day.
Well, there is.
We don't need heat anymore now.
It's cold still, man.
So why didn't you come to the station?
For what?
The heat's on. You could have. You got a phone, don't you?
Means I have to sleep here.
I just don't. I just don't
There's
get
a floor in there.
I just don't get it. How about getting it fixed? Wouldn't that be nice?
I'll fix it myself before I get somebody.
Lies.
It can't be that bad. I mean, there's something going on. It ain't that bad.
What do you know about heating?
It's just one of the breakers is off, so I'll fix it.
Flick the breaker.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll fix it.
That took, what, 30 seconds?
God bless.
There's like 14 breakers.
Monica in the text.
Jody.
You know what? But you know what my issues are?
What?
Laziness. It is just pisses me off to the core. Laziness pisses me off to the core.
You're so lazy.
And you've dealt with him for how long?
No, I'm not lazy. I could show you what I do. Laziness.
Jody,
Monica, please.
Jody says CYFD is as useful as Tom, referring to the baby box. And this is a good question. Now, do they give up their benefits when dropping off their baby, or do they keep collecting them for 18 years? Says a texter. I think that
that's a good question.
Yeah, I think that, way that no, absolutely not. Like, once they hand over the baby to the baby box, they're no longer in the picture. Like, the baby gets turned over to CYFD, correct?
Yes, but what they're saying is, are they saying they still have the child?
No, because there's no record of it.
How does the system know? I just lost the cover to my highlighter. How does the system know that baby is no longer not in their possession?
Is there cameras?
Because there is nobody. The name of the baby is not even the Social Security number. I don't know how that.
So I guess the correct answer to that would be, I guess it's dependent on when they turn the baby over. Do they turn the baby over when it's minutes born, or if they turned it over Because they can
Now,
turn it over up
90
to what?
days.
90 days?
Yeah, 3 months.
So, yeah.
I don't remember how soon does a baby get a Social Security card? All that paperwork is done at the hospital,
Correct. Yeah, that's a
So,
good point.
Could these people continue to claim that baby as a deduction? And does that baby get a new Social Security number? This opens a brand new. That's a question we'll have to ask when David Gallegos
Absolutely.
is on.
Monica Kelsey and David Gallegos.
Yeah. So
All
we'll
right.
have to ask the question. Yeah.
Kevin, you wouldn't like me because I can be lazy, says Patricia from West Odessa.
Can be lazy.
No,
can be
Patricia,
lazy.
I don't
is
believe
different.
that. You get up every day and you bust hump.
And wait a minute. Can be lazy is different than are lazy.
Correct. I totally agree with the baby boxes, but I also think it's another way out for our young society when they don't want to take care of a situation they help create. We've just made it way too simple for them to erase their problems. And that's okay,
Yeah,
Tom.
but look,
I don't know
adoptions
the news
have
either.
been going on for years, where people would give up the baby and to good homes. That's been going on for a long, long time.
I agree. Adoption, if somebody were to accidentally get pregnant or, there was an unwanted pregnancy, I feel like adoption would be the best thing. But because you're right, we live in a society where we just throw things away.
Well,
unfortunately.
And how many
Babies
times
sometimes.
And how many times are there when you hear about, like, I'm going to use the girl who threw her baby in the dumpster as the example instead of a baby box. She threw her baby in the dumpster. The dad of that baby now has that baby.
Right.
But didn't know she had the baby
Right.
and wanted the baby.
Right.
So how many dads out there, when this happens, would have wanted their child and would have raised their child,
You're right.
but the mother, for whatever reason, hated the dad or whatever, said,
Well,
no, I'm just going to give it up or throw it in the trash.
Sure.
You remember the case out of Alamogordo that a father was with this. So a guy was with this girl and she got pregnant and she aborted the baby. And he ended up taking out, was it a billboard?
Yes. I
With her
remember that.
picture on the billboard and said that, thank you, I could have been a dad or something like that. This guy ended up getting in legal trouble because of that. But is it really fair to a guy that wants a baby? And why is it just a woman's decision? I'm just asking.
Well, and how many dads out there are denied that, and then this happens?
Yeah. So.
All right. I just have a feeling that Tom is going to put B and Blake over the edge today. It's starting out that way. On the question of the day, trying to be politically correct. I'm not good at it, says John from
No,
Sonoma.
I bet. So, yeah, I'm not. One thing that I should stop doing, but that was the question, right, Blake? Things that you should stop doing.
That you should stop, but you don't. Yeah, basically. I got to go back and look and see how I worded that.
Caring.
It was, what do you keep doing that you know you should stop doing?
Yeah, I mean, like this Red Bull would be one of them. That's my only.
Right.
That's my only addiction. So.
Okay. Do you read a few more?
Jeff from Haas
go ahead.
Jeff from Haas says, good morning. I'm a planner at a gas plant, and I found out yesterday that the contractors are going to be passing their tariffs on to us, which means that more than likely we'll be passing ours on to the consumer. So it's already starting. Jeff from Hobbs is saying that this morning. And I would like to hear from the dad with the baby to see how things are and if the mom is still in the picture, says Tom.
I don't think she's in the picture anyway. She was not given. Custody.
No.
So Gatlin, I have a question. So gas plant. Tom read that text.
Jeff, yes.
So Jeff, I would like you to send in what is being tariffed. If you work at a gas plant, most of the gas is coming from America, right?
Mostly, yeah. I would think.
So is it parts to run the gas? So I'm just asking. I'm not coming at you, Jeff. I'm just asking. What is being tariffed that's going to be passed on to the consumer?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, Coulter responded and he said those boxes are $25,000 per box. That includes
I was
the
thinking
install.
they were around. I was thinking they were around 30.
For some reason, I thought that number 60,000 stuck in my head.
Nintendo is made in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. This is
that's what I thought. Nintendo.
And David and Artesia said, "Well, if you're listening, it's time to cut Tom." Big Mike behind the mic, says another texter. Smokey wishes us a good morning and have a great day. Good morning, Smokey. Adam from Artesia said, "I need to quit smoking, drinking, and sleeping with my sister." Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. I don't even have a sister.
All right, Jody from Lubbock says, "I prefer them have the child and drop it off in a baby box than have an abortion."
Yeah, no doubt.
And Jeff responded to you, Kevin. He said, "Hey, B, you are correct. It's going to be the parts that we received that we ordered, I guess, overseas."
Okay, gotcha.
And Coda.
That's what I was thinking. See, the problem in America, we stopped manufacturing a lot of stuff. Now, that is the plan, to bring manufacturing back to the United States and for us to be able to make things. I've said it for years. We used to make things with our hands, and we don't make things with our hands. The good news is we're going to have high-paying jobs coming back to America. We just got to get people out there to fill the jobs. I was at the gym today, and my water pump is going out, so I went looking for a water pump, and there's none in town. So I decided tomorrow I'll go get the water pump and then change it on Friday. But so I was at the gym at a different time, and guy that I know came in. His wife filed she's a nurse. She filed her papers with immigration in December of 2023. She has what they call priority basis because she's a nurse. They're still waiting to come to the United States.
Wow.
December of 2023. Over a year.
Wow.
To come to the States. And we need nurses. But their backlog is so bad that I guess that is the problem. All right, where do we stand with all these tariffs? Looks like Taiwan offers 0 tariffs, no more, and they say they are going to invest in America. Scott Bessent says 70 nations want to negotiate the tariffs. They've been approached by 70 different nations. European Union already negotiating with Donald Trump on a 0 tariff. And India says they want to be, they're coming forward. They said no confrontation with Donald Trump. They said that they will make things work. So, and why is the U.S., do we have an upper hand on China when it comes to the tariffs? Blake, you think we have an upper hand?
Yes, we do, because they don't import our stuff if you're strictly looking at tariffs.
So, and we are one of their number one consumers.
Yes, we are.
So, I think we are the number one consumer.
So
I should have said it that way.
So if you're going to buy something at one of those places that specializes in importing stuff from China, like one of the big name tool stores or something,
Sure.
You might want to buy that now before it doubles in price.
Sure.
So we'll see where that goes this morning. All right, 6:33. We're going to get to the tweet of the day coming up in just a second. Keep you updated with everything going on. Weather for the day, sunny 78 in southeast New Mexico. Pretty much the same across the area. Yeah, Ruidoso a little cooler, and pretty much the same in Albuquerque. Rain is not in the forecast. Wind is not in the forecast. So everything is looking awesome. Price of oil on the way. We'll talk about a New Mexico woman arrested in her toddler's death. This is an update from yesterday. And looks like another woman was arrested for a fentanyl death of their toddler. We'll get to that. Tweet of the day coming up in a second. Our number 877-396-W105. Morning show this morning being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, reminding you this governor wants another special session. Of course she does. You know, it's come out after that 2-year-old child died from a gunshot. She is calling for a special session. She said the number one killers of kids in New Mexico is guns and fentanyl. You know, the problem I have with that is most of the time it's not legal guns. And fentanyl, what have you done to close the border? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Instead, you just want to come after citizens' guns. And Randy Pettigrew from District 61 will be there to fight for our constitutional rights. He'll be fighting for our kids. If you don't know Randy, get associated with him. Just go to his website, randallpettigrew.com. You can follow him on Facebook. Message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. New Mexico woman arrested in her toddler's death, exposure to fentanyl in Espanola. The woman arrested in connection with the death of that 15-month-old child who died after being exposed to fentanyl, according to New Mexico State Police. Adriana Vahil, 26 years old, was charged with child abuse resulting in the death and possession of a controlled substance. They arrested her, and after she took the baby to Presbyterian Hospital in Espanola, the baby was unresponsive. By the way, when they went to her home, they found fentanyl and also tinfoil on the floor that had been burned. So she was smoking the fentanyl and just discarding it on the floor with a 2-year-old toddler.
Right.
See, people like this should never have kids. No. They really should.
No.
Historic deal set by the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security. A deal to aid the pursuit of illegal immigrants subject to deportation. Mm-hmm. So if these individuals are using an I-9 to file their income tax, the IRS would share that information with the Department of Homeland Security. I don't know if this will be a big tool like they think it will be, because I personally believe that individuals that are filing taxes with an I-9 and working at our dairies or working, in jobs, those type of jobs, those aren't the people that are actually they're looking for.
No, it's not.
Because gangbangers don't have jobs most of the time.
No, but these are people who are using a Social Security number to do that I-9 with that's not their Social Security number.
No. I-9s, people can go get an I-9. It's not a Social Security number. It is, I think I got this right, it is a I-9 number. And they can legally, yes, I know it sounds silly, but they can legally work with that I-9 application. Oh, they changed that under, I want to say under the Biden administration. So they can actually work without a Social Security number with the I-9. Okay. I think I got that right. I know they can work. I don't know exactly the name of it. I think it's called the I-9. Tom, you know anything about this? We've discussed it before. I think it's the I-9. I think I got that right.
I want to say that it is an I-9 because
that's for an independent contractor.
Because in times when I've done like remote broadcasts at certain car dealerships, they welcome I-9s. So I feel like if you can purchase with an I-9, you can also work with an I-9.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at this story, Kevin, and
that's the only way I know.
It says that this MOU between the IRS and DHS, it says that it outlines a process to ensure that sensitive taxpayer data information is protected while allowing law enforcement to pursue criminal violations. So I don't know what that is, or I think it's because of possibly using other numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking it is an I-9. I'm thinking that's...
This story doesn't say.
Okay, Jody sent us some info. No, you cannot work in the U.S. solely with an I-9 form. It's a form used to verify employment eligibility and identity, not a work permit itself.
All right. I know there's a way they can get a number where they can work. I'll do some research on that coming up. And anybody know, please let me know. Clear it up if I'm wrong. But I'm thinking that legally they can work with some type of form. It's not a Social Security number, but is some type of number. Looks like Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina talking about the importance of locking up your guns. 2-year-old. Remember we said about the 2-year-old lost their life yesterday? Firearms, he said, should be secured away from children. So the mother has now been arrested when the baby got to the mother's gun. Police say Leon Garcia got a hold of his mother's gun and fired that gun. Now, 4 people, including the mother, have been charged in his death. Police say Leon's 1-year-old sibling was also in that apartment at the time of the shooting and has been turned over to Child, Youth, and Families Department and placed in custody of a relative. Medina said the case is absolutely tragic. The mother, Almila Garcia, told detectives she was in another room and she heard the gun go off. She said the gun was in her purse at the time.
That's tough.
According to Garcia, criminal complaint, she took her son upstairs to her friend's house. That's when she heard the gun go off. So look, all 4 of these individuals are going to be charged. The problem with this is 3 of the people in the apartment were felons, and they've been charged with having possession of a firearm because they don't know where the kid got the gun and who it belonged to. You know, the other thing about securing the gun, yes, I say secure the gun. Put it up high enough that a 2-year-old's not going to get his hands on it. But at the same time, you need to teach kids about guns. This is not a toy. Do not play with it like we were taught when we were growing up.
Right.
Yeah. It's not a toy. Don't play with it. Andreas Garcia to see prison time for child pornography. Former Gallup firefighter was arrested for downloading child pornography, will be behind bars after taking a plea deal. Andreas Garcia was arrested last year after police said they found out that he was downloading pornography, child porn, at his workplace. Gallup sheriff confirmed that at the time, and only authorized users could use the fire department's Wi-Fi. By the way, he admitted that he was downloading images of kids. By the way, he faces his sentence 3. Is it 3? No, he's with the department 3 years, but no, he's been sentenced 3 years in lockup, and will have to be a registered sex offender for the rest of his life. Wow. We talked about the young lady yesterday, the illegal alien activist, undocumented, unafraid, and queer. You know why she's not afraid?
Why?
She was best buds with Joe Biden. Have you guys seen the videos and the pictures of her on the stage with Joe Biden multiple times?
No.
Joe, you didn't see? She worked. She was the executive director of United We Dream. That represents roughly about 400,000 immigrant activists. So what she knows about, because she is one of them. She's originally from Hidalgo, Mexico, and came to the United States as a child. And she's illegally in the country. And she says she's not afraid. She's not afraid because she's got friends in high places. She has been working for a nonprofit for many, many years as the executive director.
The executive director?
Yeah, executive director of United We Dream. Yeah, that represents about 400,000 immigrants across the country. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Did you guys see the story out of Seattle, Washington? The woman that was running the food service not the food service, but the where they dropped off food, the food bank. Mm-hmm. This woman made $700,000 a year. What? I got to go back and find that story. $700,000 a year. Blake, that was on Breitbart. If you didn't see it, wow. $700,000 a year. She was the executive director. $700,000 a year. You know, when you have a nonprofit like that, you would think that most of the good is going to help people and not in the back pockets of some fat cat.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw a picture of her. It did say fat cat. All right, tweet of the day coming up next. Morning show being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales. RVs, fifth wheels, toy haulers. They've got the ultralights, big name brands, Passport, Durango, Cougar. They've got all of them. Look, if you're in the patch and living in a hotel, get yourself a fifth wheel. Let the per diem pay for the fifth wheel. 622-1751 or go to the website, take the virtual tour, maintrailersalesInc.com. They've been in business for 70 years. MaintrailersalesInc.com. Coming up next, we'll talk about President Trump planning a military parade for the Army's birthday. We'll talk about that. And Democrats ramming abortion, transgender bills, and all kind of other stuff in Colorado. And a death of that inmate. We got an update on that story from Chaves County. We'll get to that and more. And Mega Millions is going up to $5 per ticket. I'll get you updated with that up next. 646, Monica.
Original Tommy Hater says, the activist that says she's illegal is a DACA immigrant. And it's hard to believe that a 2-year-old was strong enough to hold a pistol and pull the trigger, says another texter.
I believe that. But it hasn't. It wasn't the first time that this has happened. But the first time it happened, I was like, how could they pull that trigger? Because I'm afflicted. Look at this. Look at this finger. It's very hard for me. I have to have certain guns that I'm able because look at that finger. I'm disabled. Look at this one. Look, you're looking at the screen. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, 2-year-old, I guess they are. I guess they're strong enough. And it depends. Some are much easier to pull than others.
Yeah.
Tom, you got a hair trigger, right?
Yeah. Well, just to hold a gun for a 2-year-old, man, it's kind of heavy, isn't it?
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a few more. If ICE were to go out to the oil field locations, they could catch a lot of illegals. And Mark from Lovington said, fixing America is no different than fixing your body at a gym. No pain, no gain. Same for America. It'll take some pain to rebuild America's body. I agree, Mark.
And I thought energy was excluded from tariffs, says this one texter. And then Coda from Fort Stockton goes on to say, sounds like a gas company excuse to raise prices. Deborah says, well, a Diet Coke in the morning goes without saying. That's Deborah this morning.
I know that wasn't part of our show, though. That was part of Blake's overnight show.
I went far.
Didn't they pass a bill for the baby boxes that included a tax? So those boxes will end up costing New Mexico taxpayers millions and millions of dollars? Listen, that's something I would. I wouldn't complain for my tax money to pay for. Honestly, if it saves a life.
This state's got lots of money.
Correct. I need to stop giving my heart away. It's been used and abused too many times. Have a great day, y'all. Aw, that was Texas Tower Dog's answer to question of the day. Austin the mechanic says, I sell a name brand compact tractor, and our quote system has mandatory tariffs because most of the parts come from overseas.
Yeah, and that's going to change. That's going to change because there are going to be people that will make the parts and the United States. Yeah. And that's what Ford, Chevy, all these look. A lot of the cars are made, they're assembled in the United States, but the parts are coming from other countries.
Yeah.
So we've got to have a manufacturing shift. And I think the tariffs will not affect. I mean, they'll call it American made if, Blake, what is it, like 80% of the car is American product?
Yes. I think 80 is the benchmark.
Yeah. One more, Monica.
Chasen said, deport that bee. And last one, Nathan from Lovington says, I like that guy. Blake, you old fart.
Yeah, well, you know.
Hands off protest.
Well, I hit the button. See what I mean about that finger? You see? I had the mouse and I accidentally, All right, Donald Trump planning military parade for the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary. This is going to be a big deal. It's also Donald Trump's birthday. Mm-hmm. We're talking about June 14th, 2025. And so sources say this thing is going to be huge. Look, you see other countries that will do the military parade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you see the Soviet Union that have done it, and China has done it. I think it's good. I think it creates, patriotism again.
I agree.
And that's one thing God knows we need in America, people that love America.
Amen.
You know what I think they ought to do? They should plan it around one of these liberal protests.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think that would be perfect.
For too long, people have been ashamed now to be an American, and our kids are taught to be ashamed to be Americans in school, and we need to reverse that.
Yeah.
Do they
Not
even
me.
send the
I went
pledge?
to the gym today, and I had my Trump shirt on, and I got a German friend of mine that told me, he goes, costing me money, costing my people in Germany money. Well, we don't give a damn about y'all.
Yeah. Just lift your
I
weights
told him,
and
go drink
shut
another
up.
beer. Go drink another beer and make you feel better.
I'm sorry, it was less than 100 years ago. You guys tried to take over the world, so don't.
Yeah, so we're not worried about you. Colorado Democrats rammed abortion, transgender bills, and a bunch of stuff on a limited Sunday session debate. It is unprecedented, is what they said, but the Colorado Democrats, they have the majority. They're kind of like, New Mexico.
Yep.
Pushed through a slate of controversial gender and abortion bills through on Sunday, curtailing the House floor debate when Republican lawmakers were trying to actually put up opposition. But all of that passed, and the sheriff.
It's kind of interesting. Some of these things that passed. It requires taxpayers to fund abortions. It mandates insurers cover transgender procedures, no matter what the age is. They have a state mandated gender policy for schools, and considers it coercive control in child custody cases. And it prohibits cooperation with out-of-state investigations on transgender procedures and abortion services.
See, you know what happens? Say a dad is against the child having a procedure. They can take away his parental rights.
Well, that's what it says.
As far as seeing that child based on him not supporting the child getting transitioned.
Yep. If the parent does not affirm a child's gender identity.
Yeah. That's pretty scary. All right, we're going to talk about Chaves County investigation of that death of an inmate. Also, Mega Millions jackpots going up, and that came out this story on KOAT talking about the number one dangers that children face in New Mexico: guns and fentanyl. We'll get to that up next. Price of Oil being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, a division of CUD Energy Services. Spinnaker built to service the largest drilling programs, and you can find them in New Mexico Texas, and Oklahoma. In fact, they have 25 cementing crews in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. 200 experienced cementing professionals. They're ready to go to work for you. Find them at SpinnakerOil.com or in Hobbs on Magnum Industrial Road.
West Texas Intermediate checking in at $61.01. Brent crude at $64.59, and the price of natural gas is $3.79.
All right, I got to get to the tweet of the day. I haven't done the thought for the day, tweet of the day this morning, being brought to you by our buddies at A Custom Construction and Roofing, specializing in roofing and construction. They're licensed, they're bonded, they are insured, and they have the A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and have had that for 30 consecutive years. Get in touch with them, 575-318-9725. Call Dwayne Pinnick today. A Custom Construction and Roofing. Well, just warning you about those unlicensed out-of-town contractors. When, the warranty is, when they leave, the warranty is not even worth the paper it's written on. 6:55, here is the tweet of the day. Gutfeld.
Protests. Cute title, right? Sounds like something written on Joy Behar's lunchbox at work.
Hands off.
But it's fun hearing hands off from people whose hands are in your wallet, scratching Teslas and reaching for your kids. And with so many trans women in the crowd, some of those hands were huge. But what an exercise in mass performance art. The message? For the government to keep its hands off Social Security. Of course, no one's touching that. It's about fraud. So the entire event was also a fraud. But hands off is pure progressive branding. Big emotion, zero accuracy. It's like staging a protest to save the whales in Nebraska when we all know whales are in New York. So, what's this? What's this really about? It's about having no argument against the thing it's railing against, Doge, which is designed to actually help the people who are protesting. Doge's actual goal? Preventing a full-blown economic collapse. The kind where the U.S. dollar becomes so worthless, I don't even bother to take them out of my G-string after a show. But rather than confront that terrifying reality, the organizers cooked up a fake crisis. They claim Doge is trying to destroy Social Security, which is like accusing the fire department of starting fires by pouring water on them. They're also claiming that...
Yeah, and so, by the way, you can go check out the entire Gutfeld monologue. That is up on the real Kevin B on TikTok. Go check that out. Big win yesterday. Donald Trump had a huge win. It was a awesome win. This video,
we're getting some breaking news.
Monica, watch the video on the screen if you can.
Okay.
You'll get a kick out of it.
Okay.
The video. Here we go.
We're getting some breaking news at this hour coming out of the Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed President Trump a victory, letting him and his administration use the 1798 law that historically has been employed only in wartime to swiftly deport alleged Venezuelan gang members as part of the Republican president's hardline approach to immigration, granting that administration request to lift the Washington-based U.S. judge James Boasberg's March 15th order that had temporarily blocked the summary deportations under the Alien Enemies Act while litigation in the case continues to the Supreme Court.
So big win for Donald Trump, and I wish there was a way I could play these videos on our screen.
There may be soon. I know that Rob and Will were talking about it.
I think that would be cool. Dr. Fauci, congratulations, Dr. Fauci, CIA secretary, evidently CIA. They were kind of, I don't know, getting together with Dr. Fauci. Would you call Dr. Fauci Dr. Evil?
You could make that argument.
Listen to this. This was on Jesse Waters last night.
News alert. New evidence has just surfaced tying Dr. Anthony Fauci to the CIA's cover-up of COVID-19. Last week, a whistleblower claimed the CIA was paying people off to bury the lab leak theory. And now this, from the House committee investigating the pandemic origins. Quote, Dr. Fauci was escorted into Central Intelligence Agency, CIA headquarters, without a record of entry and participated in the analysis to influence the agency's review. The committee is now ordering HHS to hand over documents detailing all of Fauci's movements during the pandemic in and out of CIA-controlled sites.
By the way, FBI is also investigating Dr. Fauci and the CIA and investigating Nancy Pelosi on January 6th. So there is a lot of investigations that are going on, and we'll see where everything plays out. Would you consider Jasmine Crockett an educator?
No.
So Jasmine Crockett said two things in this cut I want you to listen to. She was at the Grace Baptist Church in Connecticut, and she said that we need illegal aliens in the United States because we ain't picking cotton no more. Listen to what she said.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country. The fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I know that's right.
So that's why you need the illegal aliens to pick the cotton. So they're the new slaves, that what Jasmine Crockett said. And it's amazing to me that she is the one that's out there educating folks.
Well, and what ignorant comments.
Correct.
Seriously.
Oh, it's just stupid.
So we are a nation of immigrants. That is true.
Legal
However,
immigrants.
they are legal. Yeah. And,
legal.
there are lots of farmers out there.
Right.
There are lots of people who want to be farmers out there.
But lots of them.
But with
so
government
let's not kill those
regulations,
people off.
yeah, with government regulations, they're trying to kill off small farmers.
Right.
Yeah. I think it is it's a wonderful thing. Farms and ranches. And you know what tariffs do? Actually help our ranchers. They do. Tariffs actually help our ranchers.
Yep.
So Jasmine Crockett. Netanyahu at the White House yesterday. Here's what he had to say about tariffs.
I can tell you that I said to the president a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And
so he said he's going to eliminate the tariffs. Taiwan is also said they're eliminating tariffs and investing. Donald Trump yesterday talked about tariffs and talked about the countries that are coming forward. I think he said it. Yeah.
Virtually every country wants to negotiate. If I didn't do what I did over the last couple of weeks, you wouldn't have anybody wants to negotiate. We would have gone to these countries who want to talk, and they were, well, we don't want to talk. Now they're coming to us. They're offering things like even Bibi, and this is unrelated because it's a different kind of a relationship. But he started off our conversation today that he's cutting all of the tariffs. He's cutting everything. He's going to get down to a free base. He's going to do things that, in all fairness, other countries, if they said that, would have never even thought about doing it. Now they're offering things to us that we would have never even thought of asking them for because they're experiencing a lot of hurt. And the hurt is that they've taken advantage of us and we finally fought back.
We finally fought back. I put that cut on TikTok earlier today, and somebody said it sounds like he's blackmailing other countries. So I did a video and said, just admit it. You hate Donald Trump and you hate America. You don't want us to win.
No, they don't.
I mean, sounds like he's blackmailing the other countries. He's protecting America. He's looking out for America for, he is the first president that's actually looked out for us.
And
that's what you get out of it. Yeah, they just hate.
That's it right there. Their hearts are full of hate.
Yep. A rancher in Illinois said, look, this is a game changer for ranchers.
Moment in time feel like a game changer for your industry?
Well, I think we're happy that the president finally singled us out and said that we do need to increase our beef sales to other countries, and that he's going to try and make an effort to do that. So it'll be a great time for our industry if we can sell more and have a better market and higher prices.
I mean, look at our friends in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The tariff on beef in Canada was like 60%. Tariff on milk was like 200%. And then they got all upset when we said we're going to put a tariff on them.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. It's like somebody sleeping with your wife and you tell them that you're going to sleep with their wife and they get upset.
Yeah, that's a good example.
I mean, it's nuts. By the way, steelworkers are also gaga over the tariffs.
One is to protect the jobs in our valley. I'm a third generation steel worker. I've been through those layoffs. It's not fun. I've seen 3 mills shut down in the valley in the 80s. We have 3 mills left in the valley. I don't want to see those shut down. And he made a firm commitment when I asked him with a handshake, Mr. President, after the election, will you do what you can to keep our Mon Valley viable in the steel industry? He gripped my hand and confirmed to me through that handshake that he says, I will do that.
Do you see what's going on? We have unions that are backing Trump now and the Republicans. Unions don't back Republicans.
Right. No.
We got crazy stuff going on. We really, really do. All right, in just a bit, we'll play the cut from Donald Trump. The Dodgers were at the White House yesterday. If you haven't seen it, it is typical Donald Trump. You got to check it out. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters and the Home Store. Find them in the Broadmoor Mall. Extensive collection of FR jeans, coveralls, gloves, shirts, steel toe boots, safety gear, plus a $99 section. Well, you'll find nothing but boots for $99 a pair. They also have furniture, appliances, and electronics with zero down financing. Check them out at rigoutfitters.com or in the Broadmoor Mall in Hobbs. Look, they're right next to Scrub Outfitters. And Scrub Outfitters has the largest selection of medical scrubs in 100 miles. They've got Dickies, Healing Hands, Metcouture, Peaches, and a huge selection of compression socks. So if you wear compression socks, you're not in the medical field, but you wear compression socks for medical purposes, but you're looking for different colors and that type of stuff, different designs, they've got them. They do. They also have comfy shoes and all the equipment you'll need in the medical field. Follow them on Facebook, or you can find them right next to Rig Outfitters in the Broadmoor Mall. Sheriff's Department in Chaves County released the name of the inmate in that death that happened Sunday afternoon. On Monday, they identified the man that died Sunday while being held in the Chaves County Detention Center as Aaron Buckner, 48 years old. Buckner had been housed at the Chaves County Detention Center since July on a drug possession charge, died at the local hospital. They told the Roswell Daily Record that Buckner's death is under investigation. They also said they do not suspect foul play. However, they are reviewing the videos and the reports and trying to get witness statements at this time. The Sheriff's Department will be investigating that situation. In August, Buckner pled not guilty to charges when he appeared for his arraignment at the 5th Judicial District Court. He was scheduled for a status hearing coming up this coming Thursday. on a possible change of a plea. Mega Millions jackpot. The tickets are going up to $5. By the way, lottery says there'll be giant prizes. You're going to pay more.
Okay.
I remember when they started, it was $2. Then it went up to $3.
It was $1.
$1.
And it went
Was
up,
it $1?
Yeah, it was $1 and went up to $2.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's $5. Powerball went up $2, $3. I don't know how much Powerball.
It's only
is.
$2. Powerball
$2.
$2. Yeah.
It used to be $1.
So
too,
$5.
Yeah. All those used to be $1.
Mhm.
All of them started at $1.
$5.
So when will that take place?
Now your scratch-off tickets, they can range anywhere from $1 to I've
Sure.
seen $100.
$20.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen $20.
Yeah, I'm looking to see when it takes place, and I don't see when it takes place.
They say, and this is the interesting
Oh, no,
thing.
starting with Tuesday.
They say
Starting with Tuesday.
you're going to have a better chance of winning, and they're going to have more payouts. Like the big jackpot will still be bigger, but they're going to have more of the lower level payouts.
Okay.
So that you have a better chance at winning. And my thing is, if it's all random, how do you have a better chance? Unless they're lowering the number of balls that are in the drawing.
I don't know if I'm buying that. Looks like a driver charged with a hit and run that killed a worker in Reeves County. Construction worker was killed after being hit by a semi-truck in Reeves County, Texas on Thursday, April 3rd. DPS just coming out with the report that said the semi-truck driver was driving west on Interstate 20, mile marker 28, when it swerved to avoid hitting slower traffic. Traffic was slowed down because of a active construction zone. When the truck swerved, it hit a construction zone worker, then re-entered the westbound lanes on I-20 and continued on.
Can you
eventually
say distracted driving?
Eventually the construction supervisor did stop the semi-truck. The worker was pronounced dead at the scene. He was identified as Patrick Daniel Pruitt, 24, of Truth to Consequences, New Mexico. The semi-truck driver was identified as Jose Alfonso Melendez, 77 years of age, in El Paso. All right, I'm going to save this story when we come back. Two of the biggest killers of kids in New Mexico. Would you think it was fentanyl and guns?
Yeah.
That'd be my top two.
I'm going to dive in. I don't believe it's fentanyl and guns. I will dive into that when we
I would
return.
believe fentanyl. I won't believe the guns.
Fentanyl. KWMW Maljamora 105.1 FM, KWES 93.5 Ruidoso, and KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 in Albuquerque. Thought for the day coming up next. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror and Grooming Tool ×1 ×5 ×10. Magnification with bright LED lights. If you haven't checked this out yet, maybe you're a new listener to the show, go to the website, check it out, atlasmakeupmirror.com. It is the best makeup mirror on the market. How do I know this? Look, number one, I own one. Number two, Rebecca Long did her homework for a long time. And, you know, this decision to come up with the idea of the Atlas Makeup Mirror started when she was traveling and going to hotels, and there was no great lighting and mirrors in hotels. So she came up with the idea of the Atlas Makeup Mirror. Call and talk to her. She'll be glad to tell you about it. 575-631-3189. So, yeah, people like Reba McEntire, they've got the Atlas Makeup Mirror. Linda Davis, Mandrell Sisters, many others. Professional makeup artists. They love the Atlas Makeup Mirror. And now she's rolled out the Pocket Mirror. Go check it out, atlasmakeupmirror.com for more information. Southeast New Mexico, sunny today, 78. It is going to be beautiful. Lee County, 66 and sunny. In Albuquerque this morning, 79. Sunny skies, no high winds, and any of our markets, it is looking good. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by La Tienda Thriftway in Carlsbad. They've got the big sale going on, private label brands. They've got the pork loin for $1.77 a pound, boneless breast tenders for $2.49 a pound. Get the choice boneless beef chuck roast, $4.99 a pound. Tilapia, $3.97 a pound. Produce department, get 2 avocados for $4. Also, red ripe tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. Spinach leaf, 99 cents each. And grapes, black or red grapes, you can get them. They're seedless for just $1.99 a pound. Also, get turkey breast or ham for just 2 packs for $6. Cooked shrimp, $7.99 for a pound. And they've got the boneless beef chuck steak for $5.29 a pound. If you're looking for refreshments, they've got Coke, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, other flavors too. 2 12-packs for $12. And don't forget, they always have the taco bar, delicious tacos, and delicious tortillas made from scratch every day. Tom on the text quickly at 7:15.
Holier than thou is chiming in. You know, it's funny that the richest nation in the history of the world wants to change their extremely successful service-based economy back to a production economy / bring back the sweatshops, says Holier than thou this morning.
Sweatshops. Good manufacturing jobs are called sweatshops.
Well,
no,
to those that are socialists
made in China. That is a sweatshop. This is the people that work for Ford or GM are, those are sweatshop workers. Come on now. And we are $37 trillion in debt.
Well, to be fair, Kevin, he is not old enough to remember when those things were actually in production. He doesn't remember the steel mills being at full swing. He doesn't remember those kind of things because it was in the 80s when that started going on.
Yeah, that started going
That
on.
is a man's job. I know you probably don't understand every day getting up and getting dirt on your hands and grease. I'm talking about a man's job.
I'm going to let Tom read holier than thou leftist text from now on.
Okay.
Yep, that's all you, buddy.
Well, he jumps right on him. If it says leftist, he's there.
Yeah.
He's on it.
Right, but sometimes he just copies and pastes. Like it's not worth sharing.
No,
it's
not.
That's why.
But again, this is something he has no personal experience with.
Correct.
But you have no problem with people coming to this country and working for farm laborers and stuff like that. I don't understand the difference. I really don't. You know, a job is a job. One thing that was instilled in me from birth, pretty much, is the job that you have today is the job that you might not have tomorrow because you're going to keep moving up. And the job you want, you need the job you have today to get to the job that you want. I don't get it.
Not only did Germany try to take over the world, they did it twice and would have gotten away with it if it weren't for us meddling Americans, said this texter.
And
right.
This text says the biggest threat to the juveniles here in the state are the Democrats. Says the texter.
Well, Jasmine, you can't pay most of you enough to get a damn job of any kind. Just another race baiter, said John from Eunice. I agree. And nobody picks cotton anymore. Machines do that, said Tom Millett Hater. Bosque County said, I would love to see a military parade in the USA and see all the woke trans Democrats and LGBTQ people go insane. It's called an ITEN number, and it is a tax identification number.
There you go.
Mark
Thank
from
you.
Levington says, I grew up in the 70s through the 80s in Michigan's automotive belt, and every little town had at least one little manufacturing plant making car parts. We can do it again. That's exactly
That's not
right.
sweatshops.
Kevin, I sent you a video on Facebook of Nancy Pelosi in her younger political career slamming the outrageous tariffs, just like Trump is doing right now.
I actually played that about, it was last week.
Yes.
Yeah. From like 1987, if I'm not, I think I'm correct.
Those $5 Mega Millions have already started in Texas.
All right.
Oh, wow. Wow.
A few more. Good morning, Monica and guys. B, this is a different thing, but I saw it on TikTok. Did you see that people or Hispanics are mad because of the Dodgers went to the White House? Shoot, I'm Mexican, and I'm happy they went. I'll always be a Dodgers
Why would they be
fan.
mad?
I don't get that. I don't get it. You know, I follow this guy on TikTok, and he's like, wait a second. You're mad because I support Donald Trump because he wants to deport people that came to this country, and you say I've abandoned my own people? What people are you talking about? American people? That's stupid. That's what he said. And I'm like, you're 100% correct. If you're born in America, Americans are your people. That's your people. You know, my family came from France and from Ireland. I've never called anybody from France my people. Number one, they smell. One more, Tom.
All right. Blue collar electrician says the greatest danger to kids today are the irresponsible, cracked out parents.
Yeah, no doubt. That is the danger. You're 100% right. All right, thought for the day, then we'll take our break. Thought for the day being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, serving southeast New Mexico. They've got you covered with oil and gas products. Yeah, if you need interstate batteries, they can deliver. But if you need fuel, not a problem. They can deliver to you. WakefieldOil.com or 575-622-4160. They've got close to 40 years of experience delivering oil and gas products in the patch. On-road, off-road, it really doesn't matter. Thought for the day, in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. I need to make sure and get this one right for you, Tom. If I had a nickel every time I heard you say something stupid, I would fill a sock with those nickels and beat the crap out of you. It's my thought for the day. This morning. I wouldn't. I love you, brother. I really, really do. But you just get on my last nerve.
That's my job.
With your laziness, not even finding out what's going on, that we're stuff we're going to talk about. It's what?
That's my job.
Being lazy?
Being lazy?
I'm retired.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's how I know you're a Democrat, too.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. It's already 7:21. When we return, Pete Hegseth talks about the Houthis. Donald Trump had the Dodgers in. This is funny. And Whoopi Goldberg is hating. We'll get to that. News this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry. One-stop shop for all your laundry. Wash, dry, and fold. They can do your dry cleaning, your pressing, your starching. Just walk in, drop off all your clothes. And they'll take care of all the rest for you. And then if you want to wash, dry, and fold your own clothes, they have coin-operated machines at all of their locations. Find North Star Laundry in Carlsbad at 609 West Lee and 604 West Church Streets, and at 406 West Cedar in Loving. Taking a break, coming right back. We're B and the Breakfast Club, 722.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. After the second child death was confirmed by officials due to measles outbreak, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made a visit to the Hildebrand family after the loss of their 8-year-old daughter Daisy in Gaines County, Texas, Sunday afternoon. The first child passed away in West Texas in February. Another person died in New Mexico after testing positive for measles, although officials remain unsure if measles was the cause of death. There are now a reported 481 cases in the West Texas outbreak and 54 reported cases in New Mexico. 315 of the cases in Texas have been in Gaines County, and 52 of the 54 New Mexico cases have been in Lee County. On Friday, police were called to the Andrews, Texas High School Stadium for a report of a man who possibly had a gun at a middle school track meet that was happening at the stadium. APD officers restrained the man and escorted him out of the stadium, and investigators say they never found a gun or even a fake gun. The waste isolation pilot plant between Hobbs and Carlsbad has received about 7,500 shipments of nuclear waste from Idaho since the facility opened in 1999. Idaho National Laboratory, where nuclear weapons and energy research is conducted, reported the milestone as the lab pursues a legacy waste transfer plan expected to continue for at least 8 more years. Legacy waste refers to materials mostly left over from U.S. nuclear programs during the Cold War. Idaho National Laboratory is moving the waste to WIPP as the result of a 1995 lawsuit settlement between the state of Idaho and federal government requiring nuclear waste at the lab be removed from the state. The waste is buried at WIPP in a salt deposit about 2,000 feet underground. The salt gradually collapses on the waste, burying the refuse and blocking radiation from escaping. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
Hunting is conservation. At the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, we salute hunters for providing the majority of conservation funding across the U.S. Join us for our yearly fundraising banquet, April the 12th, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, 2500 Southeast Main in Roswell, New Mexico. Great food, games, raffles, and live auction. Get your tickets at rmef.org New Mexico event. rmef.org New Mexico events.
Storage units available now from JSM Storage LLC with 3 convenient locations in Midway, Dexter, and Hagerman. A local family-owned business, JSM Storage makes it easy for you to get the extra space you need. 5x10s just $30 a month, 10x10s $60 a month, and 10x20s just $120 a month. Find them online at jsmstoragellc.com or call today 575-361-1721. That's 575-361-1721.
Pharmacy 575 is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Jessica Barrera to their team. From primary care to minor injuries, she is ready to care for our community. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are preferred. Offering the My Daily Medication program with pre-dose packaging, wellness consultations, weight loss plans, and more. Go see Pharmacy 575 at 305 East Sanger, Suite 600, or call 575-263-2908. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pharmacy 575. Your health, their priority.
Ruidoso Downs Racetrack is gearing up for fun on the run all summer long.
And it all begins with a special preseason appearance by Texas country music superstar
Pat Green.
Pat Green performs at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack as part of the $25,000 All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Fest Saturday, May 3rd.
Watch the best regional barbecue teams in the Southwest compete for a chance to qualify for the American Royal Nationals, plus shopping vendors, the Kentucky Derby, and Pat Green with special guests Eric Wills and Brian Mars.
All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Festival takes place all day long.
With Pat Green on stage at 8 p.m.
Tickets are available now at raceruidoso.com. That's raceruidoso.com to see Pat Green.
Saturday, May 3rd at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack and Casino. Telephone the box office at 575-378-4140 to see Pat Green.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'll carry on.
And for fun on the run all summer long, visit raceruidoso.com.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Bellis today.
Wake up.
What happens in the Breakfast Club stays in the Breakfast Club.
Be and the Breakfast Club.
Attention!
What a beautiful day to be in denial.
This is not headline news. Kawasaki unveiled a robot horse. It looks so realistic, Arby's already tried to kill it for sandwich meat. The White Lotus finale killed off several characters. Several of my brain cells also died while I was trying to fill all the leftover plot holes. A Minecraft movie grossed $163 million on opening weekend. But that's only a net of $50 million once the studio subtracts the cost of feeding Jack Black. And Post Malone was spotted shopping in Paris with his girlfriend. Post Malone loves France because no one notices body odor. This is not headline news.
728, We Are B and the Breakfast Club this morning being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're driving 128 this morning and you need fuel, exit Buck Jackson Road, go down 2.75 miles. You will see it like a beacon, like a oasis out in the middle of the patch. You will see the Twin Wells Fuel Station. Open 24/7. They accept all your credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards, and they sell DEF value, red diesel, green diesel, and they do sell unleaded too. So if you're on 128 and need fuel, exit on Buck Jackson Road. Be safe on the road from the Twin Wells Fuel Station. Looks like new study finds that school smartphone bans show no evidence of improving academic performance. So it turns out taking away a smartphone doesn't help a dumb kid.
Okay.
Wait a second. There's no dumb kids. There are smartphones, though. According to a pet care website called Rover, the average cost of owning a dog annually is $3,300, which means you wind up spending a buttload of money for something that sniffs butts. This is why some people get cats. Yeah, they're cheaper, but they hate human beings. They really do. Cats do not like human beings at all. They don't like them. Ratings from Nielsen say the Final Four average about 15.3 million viewers, the best mark since 2017. Well, Houston's a big market. Florida's a big market. It's up 19% over a year ago. So views were pretty good, and that's across all viewing platforms, which was TBS, TNT, True TV, and others. So
CBS.
The Final Four was up, and the final game was up. CNN going to host a town hall with Bernie Sanders tomorrow night. Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, Bernie Sanders. The taking out trash. I'm going to tell you some of the artists that are performing with Bernie Sanders. Yeah. And Indiana police have arrested a 24-year-old YouTuber who was visiting it's in India. I was right the first time. Indian police have arrested a 24-year-old Arizona YouTuber who was visiting a off-limits island in the Indian Ocean and left an offering of a Diet Coke can and a coconut in an attempt to make... This is not. Look, it is a sacred island. And if they say it's off limits, it's off limits. See, it's people like you that go to a foreign country and give Americans a bad name. Yeah, you think you're funny. You're really not that funny. All right, text line. We're going to get to the text coming up next. New Mexico children face danger from gun and fentanyls. We have lost too many kids in the past month because of guns and fentanyl, according to this story on KOAT. Lawmakers passed, of course, Benny's Law. Has that helped any? Has Benny's Law helped any?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So lawmakers passed Benny's Law after 13-year-old Benny Hargrove was shot and killed in Albuquerque by a student that took his father's gun to school. And Benny's Law holds gun owners accountable if they don't secure their firearms and a child gets their hands on it and commits a crime or hurts themselves. Fentanyl.
He'll be going to the emergency room later.
Soon. Fentanyl is, look, fentanyl, I think, is a much bigger problem than guns.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, but and when they use gun statistics, they're not even using fair statistics. Because
right. And you know, what do we call a child? I mean, so what's the age of a child? 0 to what age?
18.
A minor would be anyone under 18, right? But when you say child, you're typically thinking probably under 12.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But whenever they take a gun statistic, they include anything that could have a gun in it, including suicide.
Yeah, you're right.
Which shouldn't be counted as a gun statistic.
Yeah. If we look at if we look at all the way to 18, maybe guns, but I think there's other things that probably, and I did not look up those numbers. Your 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your 401k. Because what I always like to tell people, your 401k was down for the entire Biden administration. Somebody called me an idiot on a post yesterday. They said, stock market got up to 43,000 under Joe Biden. Yeah, only when they figured that Trump was going to win the election.
Right.
For 3.5 years, the stock market was 33,000.
Or lower.
And nobody was tweeting anything. From 2021 to 23, we had minus growth. 21 to 23. Nobody tweeted a damn word about it. Inflation rose 9%. No growth in the stock market. Nobody said anything. Your 401k is the same value now than it was a year ago.
Until your
stock market, by the way, we're up 1,100 points this morning. We're up 1,100 points. We're almost back up to 40.
Actually, we're almost 1,200 points. So,
yeah, up 1,200 points. Yeah.
1,200.
So your 401k is the same value now as it was a year ago.
Yep.
I don't know about you. I'm thinking about. I was thinking about jumping back in and start buying again.
Well, it's still a good buying opportunity, even though obviously a lot of things are up this morning. But they were off a little bit, so there's still a lot of opportunity there.
So quit tweeting about your 401k because this is the long game. Unless you're thinking about retiring tomorrow, this is a long game.
And
Tom, you know about stocks.
Well, what people
you
don't
understand.
Yes, I do. But people don't realize either is that when you take out your retirement, you're paying taxes on it. And then you pay taxes on when you file taxes.
Take out your retirement.
Yeah, your 401k. You're paying taxes on it. So
in New Mexico.
Leave it alone.
In New Mexico. Yeah. That's not everywhere, Tom.
But you will pay taxes on it.
In New Mexico.
Yeah, eventually. Leave it alone. I made that mistake a few years ago.
What? No, I'm not even asking. Never mind.
And it's like, won't ever do that again. Well, and I've got stocks with
I know why you won't ever do it again.
And JCPenney. And I'm not
touching them.
That's because they're worth
Payless and
nothing.
JCPenney's are gone.
Yeah, because both of those went bankrupt. So how much money could you make on bankrupt companies?
Well, they're ceremonial, so that's at least
ceremonials.
At least
you know what ceremonial is? That's like peeing in the wind. Well, every once in a while, you get wet.
So you're saying that your retirement accounts are made up of JCPenney and Payless stocks?
At least I play the market.
No. If those are the stocks you own, you don't.
Yeah, I'm doubting.
Because when was the last time you could buy either one of those or sell either one of those?
It's been a while.
So you don't play the market.
The market plays my stocks.
For some reason, we're not believing.
I'm done.
All right, 7:38. That was like the 3-minute mile and the 12-foot high jump. Yes. 7:38, 12 minutes away from 22 minutes away from 8 o'clock. The more I listen, the more I start sounding like him. It's not 12 minutes away. It's 22 minutes away from 8 o'clock.
I am contagious.
Morning show this morning made brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main and Roswell. Over 1,000 firearms in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns. Get a brand new rig today by trading in your old gun to get a better gun. If you're already thinking about hunting season, get that bow tuned up today. They can do it. And look, they give you fair pricing when you trade in a gun to get a better gun. You can also sell them your gun. Looking for personal protection? They offer lethal and non-lethal personal protection. And ladies, it's a crazy world we live in. If you've never owned a gun, but you're finally thinking, I need personal protection, stop in and check them out today at Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. And call them 575-622-0023. Zia Guns closed Saturday, open on Sunday, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Monica?
Are you being taxed when you pull out of it, even if you've paid taxes already, referring to your 401k?
Depends on how you do it and where you do it.
Patricia said, my cat loves me. She sleeps in the bunk all day. Yes, Princess is on the big rig with me. Aw, that's cool. In what year did our country start documenting citizens? When did it become a requirement to earn citizenship on stolen land? Says this texter.
Oh, please.
And this is Walk the Walk.
I'm not gonna even answer that. Stolen land from who? From Mexico? You got your ass whipped. We go to war with people, and this has been going on from the beginning of times. People lose wars. And usually to the victors goes the spoils. We were very generous. We could have taken all of Mexico. In hindsight, we should have taken all of Mexico. You lost the war. Sorry if that breaks your heart. You lost the war. There is no stolen land. And if you don't like America, you can always pack your glad rags and get the hell out.
This is Walk the Walk. Everyone loudly chant with me. USA, USA. And unless you're an anchor baby bee, I don't know what they were talking about on that one. 2 New Mexico State troopers are heading south on Highway 18 between Jowl and Eunice. Lights and sirens.
I'll check there in a moment. All right, Mitchell from Lubbock is chiming in. Holier than thou. You're such a complete idiot. You don't understand basic economics. Now, the last time the USA was thriving was in the 80s with all the auto manufacturing and steel manufacturing, etc. And what Trump is trying to do is get back to that era and raise the poverty level. The other issue is that we as a society have become too lazy as hell, and the majority want something for nothing, says Mitchell from Lubbock this morning.
Amen.
He's right.
Amen.
Yeah, we need to make people work again. One more, Monica.
Travis from Roswell says, I find it hilarious how these liberal whack jobs who loved unions and electric cars and Elon Musk and all of this stuff so easily change their whole stand so they can hate on Trump. It just goes to show they have no real beliefs. They're just fluttering in the wind. What a waste of oxygen. I agree,
Amen.
Travis, completely. Oh, this guy said Native American land, PUTO. He called you a PUTO.
PUTO.
I can't say it because y'all told me not to say
That's
those
a nasty
things.
word in Spanish.
It's not nasty. It's a bad word.
Yeah, I always call them nasty words.
It's not that's what he said.
God bless you. God bless you. All right, Donald Trump had the Dodgers at the White House.
Go Los Angeles.
Thank you. You do so much for this show. You really do.
Yeah,
Thank you. Like nobody would know where the Dodgers are from.
Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, that's it. Brooklyn. Yeah, the Brooklyn. Yeah. Anyway, Trump was like, we got 2 senators in here, but I really don't like them, so I'm not going to introduce them. Listen to this. This is priceless. This is typical.
And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce.
Let's go.
Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team. I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually. Washington. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team
I thought that was typical Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't like him, so I'm not going to introduce him. Yeah, go ahead. Yesterday, during the meeting with Netanyahu, Pete Hegseth was there, and he talked about the Houthis and talked about they're putting a major hurt on them and will continue to put a hurt on them.
Bad 3 weeks for the Houthis, and it's about to get worse. It's been a devastating campaign, whether it's underground facilities, weapons manufacturing, bunkers, troops in the open, air defense assets. We are not going to relent. And it's only to get more unrelenting until the Houthis declare they will stop shooting at our ships. And we've been very clear at the Iranians as well. They should not continue to provide support to the Houthis, and that message has been made very clear. So we have a lot more options and a lot more pressure to apply, and we know, because we see the reports, how devastating this campaign has been in them, and we will not relent.
So they're just going to continue to apply the pressure, more pressure, more pressure, more pressure, and all is good. And Whoopi Goldberg still cannot say Donald Trump's name. What does she call him, Blake?
Is it he who shall not be named or something like that?
Yeah. Here's yesterday on The View. Whoopi
gathered this weekend for hands-off rallies around the country to protest the administration's policies on deportations, mass layoffs, tariffs that continue to cause global economic chaos. But you know who was still talking up his trade war when he spoke to reporters on his plane coming back from a golf trip? Take a look.
You know who coming back from his golf trip. So does the president get any time off? Because you guys had no problem when Joe Biden slept on the beach for like weeks. They had to go out there and change his depends. At least be fair.
They can't be fair. They are socialist liberals. They don't know anything about being fair.
This president has more press conferences and more in touch with the media and gets more done than Joe Biden got done in 4 years. Right. In 1 week, he's had more meetings. But it doesn't matter. People like Whoopi are just not going to tell it like it is. If Donald Trump does something bad, I will say that's a bad idea.
Well, and a common trait among liberals is lying about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. Oh. Yeah.
Just saying.
So, headline on Fox this morning: stock market rebounds on hope of a new tariff deal. So, with all these countries coming to the table, the stock market will come back up, and America will only get stronger. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, homegrown and proud of it. They've got farm and ranch supplies, Western wear, work gear, feed for your animals. They're your certified Purina dealer. They also have Western wear and looking good clothes, but they also have trailers, tanks, tack, fencing materials, hardware store right there in their store. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. You can find them also in Capitan at the Lincoln County Mercantile. Looks like the DOJ and the ATF repealing the weaponized zero tolerance policy. So gun owners of America, looks like the Trump administration keeping their promise with the ATF. You know who's running the ATF? Kash Patel's running the ATF temporarily.
Yep.
But we are turning back the hands of times when it comes to repealing the weaponized zero tolerance policy. It was a tool for the politicians to target gun stores and Americans who were simply trying to exercise their rights. So Trump is pulling that back. By the way, the NRA is already this morning congratulating and praising Kash Patel and Pam Bondi for doing so. Police say a man has been sentenced to prison for having sex with a 13-year-old. So the Albuquerque man has been sentenced to prison for recording and having sex with a teenager. Kevin Balos, 41 years old, was sentenced 25 years behind bars, according to the United States attorney. Yeah, this is why he's going away for 25 years, because this is a federal case. And he was busted by the FBI. So, according to the report, they were sending encrypted messages on Telegraph where he talked to a 13-year-old girl, and he ended up having sex with her.
Oh, man.
And Bellows, by the way, was on supervised release. At the time, he was having sex with the 13-year-old after serving a prison sentence for first-degree murder. And then they let him out. And they thought he would be an upstanding human being, but instead, he had sex with a 13-year-old and 2 other minors. He engaged in sexual acts with Jane Doe and another minor, and he recorded the activities. This abuse was disclosed by one of the minors during a medical appointment. They identified him. FBI put forward a search warrant, and they discovered the videos of him having sex with multiple teenagers.
Golly.
Sad.
And he was out after getting out on first-degree murder charges at the time. Ain't that sad? Monday, a court judge, Joseph Montano, ruled that Rashid Jones, 22, will be held in custody while awaiting his trial and related to a deadly shooting in 2024. Jones is one of the people accused of shooting up a home in Albuquerque. That's when Javon Williams was hit and killed during that shootout. Rashid Jones, is now facing murder charges, among other charges. And police believe that the group of individuals, including Jones, was involved in at least 5 different shootings in the course of 3 weeks in 2024. Man accused of killing a teen and shooting another teen near Gallup. The man accused of shooting one teen and injuring another teen, police say Mario Barraza, shot and killed an 18-year-old man and a 16-year-old woman in Church Rock, about 15 miles from Gallup. He fled the scene but was later arrested. Gallup and the FBI are continuing to investigate. All right, we got to get to taking out the trash. Let's get to the text first. 752, we're B on the Breakfast Club.
All right, this texter's asking, Tom, do you know anything going on 529 and 62 180 in Eddy County? I just texted the sheriff waiting for a response.
That's in Lee County. They're being sarcastic towards you.
Oh, are they really? Mm-hmm. Is that what that means? Well, I texted the sheriff. Maybe they cross-talk all the time. Maybe you know something.
Good morning, friends. People just want to cry. They don't know the truth. Monica, read this, not Tom. That editor chick said stolen land refers to natives. Spain stole Mexico from their natives too. So really, folks just need to chill. That shite's way in the past. I'm biracial, native and white. And this texter said, B, why is your answer to everyone, if you hate America, then leave? That seems to always be your answer, as though you lack education.
Well, because if you hate America so much and you don't want us to win, then why? I mean, I'm not going to live in a place I hate. By the way, I live in the Philippines currently. I'll be back in the States in June. I don't hate America. I want America to win.
You know, I agree with B wholeheartedly. Like, not necessarily, not every single thing do we see the same, but I see it the same. Like, You're in America, abide by the rules. Like, history is history. Like, there's nothing you can do about what our ancestors or our forefathers did, whatever, however we came about to live where we lived. That's fine. Like, why are you mad about something that happened many, many years ago? Like, I would gladly, I don't know. I agree with you, B. Like, if you don't like it, if you can't stand the history of it, like, go somewhere where you are going to be proud to be. You know what I mean?
And most people don't even know history.
No.
Right.
They know that particular part of history.
Correct. I never said I hated America. Okay, you didn't say it directly, but you said, yeah, even though, let me go back to your text. Hold on. You said.
Yeah, you implied that you hate America.
When did it become a requirement to earn citizenship on stolen land? Like, that's the whole thing. Like,
the
you
history
said,
of the world?
Correct. Like, you don't understand. Like, it wasn't so much that it was stolen. It was discovered. Like, come on now.
Look, go back through history and find out how lands became the possessions of kings and governments and all that thing. And it was all that way. All of it. Through history.
Look at America before the Americans got here. The Spaniards, the native tribes were conquering other tribes. I mean, just read a damn book every once in a while.
Okay, his response is, I love America, and yes, let's win. But every time he gets mad, he says, if you hate America, then leave. And the question was legit, and he still can't answer it. So the thing is,
because it's not stolen land. It's not stolen land.
And I answered that is it's through history. Land is bought or sold and taken in wars. That's the way it's been for millennia. And you have people who were citizens of empires from time beginning.
But I mean, look, I'm not going to live my life based on 150, 200 years ago.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I'm worried about America today. And when you start talking about stolen land, this and that.
Well, again, what is your qualification for that? You know, we just had someone who texted in that said, you know, your people stole it from the natives.
Let me read some of the responses. Just imagine if this so-called stolen land still belonged to Mexico. Gosh,
But
thank
they
God
stole
for the
it.
USA. And Mexico sold us this land back in the 1800s for $12 million. So the land belongs to the United States. God created the earth and gave it to man, says Dalen Hobbs. Native tribes, okay. Bro needs anger management. Chill, bro. I just asked a question and you automatically assume that I have hate. No, not necessarily. You just
No. You
word
didn't
your
ask the
questions.
question. You brought hate about America.
Correct.
So I am tired of people hating on America. I
Lovington
am
Patrick
tired.
says, I think people text, talk, and even protest without even thinking what they're mad at.
Amen.
Sit down, shut up, keep watching CNN, and let the adults take care of business. You all had your chance, and we see where that got us. Finally, America first. Get out of my town. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, and Blake, that text was legit on that traffic thing. The sheriff just texted back. Says our traffic unit is running traffic out there right now. Says Eddie County Sheriff Matt Hutchinson. So why'd you say why'd you say that was Lee County for?
Because 529 at 62180 is in Lee County.
Well, you were wrong then.
No?
Because the sheriff just texted me. Says there is something
Just
going out
because
there.
they know something's going on doesn't mean it's
Well,
not
don't
in Lee
say
County.
nothing until I report it. Otherwise, just keep quiet
I'm not
about
waiting
it.
3 weeks for you to
Well,
find
no.
something.
Can we get a map?
So
Yeah, it's Lee County, Tom.
well, Eddie County Sheriff responded, didn't he?
Because they know what's going on, not
Well,
because it's in Eddie
we've had
County.
that
Well, that's
conversation
why
before.
I texted him, dude.
All right, we're late. Let me get to Take It Out Trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. They can take care of all your trash pickup, commercial trash pickup. They have the big 2 and 4 yard metal dumpsters. They've got the residential pickup. They've got the 96-gallon poly carts. Give them a call. Kayleen standing by this morning, 575-408-1719. On location, need a big roll-off container. They've got those too. Go to the website, trash-eaters.com. BigBrotherShow.com for more information. Bernie Sanders and AOC, they're putting forth the big old rallies. They're going to be out. They're going to be out. Another huge rally is coming up. And guess who is going to be performing? Neil Young. Wait, isn't he a Canadian? Isn't Neil Young a Canadian? But he's going to be there for the protest.
He's looking bad.
We're protesting America, but he's Canadian. Oh, Joan Baez is also going to be there. Joan Baez? So you rolled out two of the oldest rockers ever? Well, Joan Baez never rocked. She just folk music. Joan Baez, the anti-war Joan Baez, and Neil Young. That's the answer for young folks protesting nowadays. That's the best you have. Wow. Bernie Sanders and AOC, the answer. They are. They're rocking the world. Yes. Oh, I left this out. They've got another performer that's going to be performing, Jeff Rosenstock, who had a big song back in the day called Dream Blunt Rotation. Can imagine what that's about when we talk about blunts. Yeah, Dream Blunt Rotation. Yeah. So all three are going to be performing at the big get-together. You guys can sing Kumbaya. I think it's going to be awesome. Suspects in the Las Cruces. And by the way, that was taken out the trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters. Suspects in that Las Cruces Park shooting all pled not guilty to charges, all four defendants. And by the way, all four will be charged as an adults. So, but all four pled not guilty to all the charges. And New Mexico Supreme Court vacated the felony murder conviction against a Las Cruces man. They vacated that first-degree felony murder conviction against the man in Las Cruces for shooting death at a house party in 2021. He potentially could face another trial, according to the news release that was sent out by the Supreme Court. And one more story before we get to things that happened on this date in history. Kamala Harris and her team. Like you read this story this morning.
I did.
They actually had a death pool roster.
Yep.
Just in case of federal judges, just in case Joe Biden passed away.
Yep.
You know what's
to
bad?
See who would swear her in.
Yeah, that you've got judges on speed dial because you're hoping the president actually dies and Kamala can take control. By the way, the book that came out last week called Fight Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House is coming out with all kind of interesting information. William Morrow was the guy that wrote that book. And I was thinking about reading that book, and some of the information that's come out as far as having judges on speed dial, because they thought Joe could kick off. It could be tomorrow that he kicks off. Whew. Tom in the text, get to it. Thought things that happened on this date in history up next.
Trucker Gary is chiming in. Good morning, Monica, guys, and you dumb ASS, Tom. The liberals texting give me a headache. They must be Tom's kinfolk. And they, dumb ASS libs, if you hate America, go home. Don't let the door hit you in the ASS. Monica, please read. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Trucker Gary. I didn't get to read it.
Sorry, Tom jumped on it.
Yeah.
Liberals and Democrats think that Mexico has always been Mexico. Mexicans stole that land also through war. Get Yoko Ono to sing It'll Be Over Before It Starts Again, said Big John. Tomala Hater says, Blake, you're wasting your breath. Tom will never say he's wrong. And Tomala, the sheriff didn't say there was an accident. He said they were working traffic. Not the same.
That's what I said. They're working
Just admit
traffic.
when you're wrong, says a texter. And hello, Chrissy. Go ahead, Tom. Read some.
Where's Chrissy at? I don't see her. Actually, to be historically accurate, this part of the United States, says the texter, was owned by Spain, who took this land from the natives, which we bought from Mexico. The further you go east and west was owned by different countries like France and Great Britain, says the Constitutionalist. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they stole it first because there were other people here before they claimed it.
Somebody's stealing stuff.
So, I mean, how far back do you want to go? Because if you go far enough back, it's stolen from somebody.
And this text says, Kevin says it's best, plain and simple. To the victor goes the spoil.
Yes. Amen, Kevin. Thank you.
Adam from
It's the way it's been forever.
Adam from Artesia said, Tom educating Blake. Now that's funny.
Except he's wrong.
Tom A has dreams about what Eddie in Lee County is.
And this text says,
Well, if we just have that damn pocket map.
Oh, we have a map. It's right there on the screen, and you can see right where 529 runs into 62-180, right past Arkansas Junction, just outside of Hobbs, is still Lee County.
And you know what? About 3 weeks ago, we had the same conversation already.
Now, I read the text. It was from the texter. It was not me who said it.
Oh, now it's the Texas fault.
Yeah. He said this in Eddie County. So I'm taking their word because Monica gave me a lesson the other day. Well, you got to know that, that it's in Eddie County.
You were retired.
So,
Oh, my God.
I remember that little deal.
What?
So it was the texter. It was not me.
By the way, this just in, Japan negotiating today with the United States on a tariff deal. See the way everybody's falling in place? It's pretty awesome.
I don't think Godzilla over here.
Tom has dementia. Be nice to him. Tom has.
Poor Japan. That's what you get out of, yeah. All right, things that happen on this date in history. Being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, veteran-owned and operated, largest firearms dealer around, state-of-the-art indoor firing range with the Milo FBI training simulator. You can shoot live fire or with a laser. There's over 1,000 different scenarios to choose from. Monthly memberships or hourly rates are available. They have financing on guns. They also have lots of optics, suppressors, gun accessories, safes, tactical gear, and grunt-style clothing. Talk to them about financing on the firearm. They also offer training, one-on-one or group training for firearm safety. 2A Tactical Firearms open 7 days a week at 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, or go to the website 2atacticalrange.com, proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
On this day in 1766, Tom, that's in the past, the first patent was granted for a fire escape. It was a wicker basket on a pulley and a chain designed by a London watchmaker.
I know.
And on this day in 1879, milk was sold in a glass bottle for the very first time.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. The sweating glasses.
1879. The most common reaction? That's great, but can someone invent the refrigerator?
Yeah. Maybe.
In 1953, Tom, the very first 3D movie was released. What was the name of it?
Godzilla.
Uh-uh.
Man in the Dark. You do that again, I'm turning your mic off. Oh. In 1974, baseball superstar Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves broke whose lifetime home run record?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
How many was it, Monica?
Like 715.
Yep. Bingo.
8.
Who did they play?
Atlanta Braves. Al Downing pitched to.
Incorrect. It was against the LA Dodgers.
I mean, he played for the Atlanta Braves.
It was against the LA Dodgers. In 1986, you lost your sports credit there. I can't believe you missed that, Tom. Clint Eastwood was elected mayor of a city by a landslide of 72%.
California.
Yes, look at Tom coming back with that one.
Recovered.
It's in the 80s. You can remember that. In 1994, Nirvana lead singer Kurt Cobain
died.
No, he was found dead.
Committed suicide.
He was.
Overdosed.
He decorated the ceiling with his brain matter 3 days before they found him.
I got a point for that one too.
Courtney Love drove him to it.
But
she killed him. That's just my opinion. In 2000, Saturday Night Live aired their now famous More Cowbell skit, which featured Will Ferrell and which famous actor? Asking for more cowbell. He talks about it sometimes still.
Well, Will Ferrell is.
He was in it. Yeah, he wrote it. Who was the actor that was the guest on the show?
Bill Murray.
No. Who needed more cowbell?
Jimmy Fallon.
No. Christopher Walken.
Who is Christopher Walken?
He's Angeloni's son.
No. He's
Angeloni? Who the hell's Angeloni?
He don't even know.
No, that's the other guy. Daughter.
Go look up Christopher Walken. You'll know immediately who it is. He had received one of the great speeches in True Romance.
He was in Wedding Crashers. He was the congressman.
Today is National Empanada Day, National Zoo Lovers Day, and National All Is Ours Day. Taxes are due in 1 week. It's 12 days to Easter. This year, also known as 420. So make sure you get extra candy. Taryn Noah Smith.
I know who that is.
Okay, who is
He's the kid on Home Improvement.
Bingo. He turns 41 today.
41, wow.
Of course, we'll never know if he had kids because Tim Allen eventually moved on to his third TV family. Okay, I couldn't help that. Katie Sackhoff is 45.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Sackhoff? That's a crappy last name.
She is Bo-Katan on The Mandalorian. She was Starbuck on the new Battlestar Galactica. And she was Deputy Moretti on Longmire.
None of those
Great
movies
shows
ring a bell.
all.
Get out of here, Sackhoff.
Get off my sack off.
Actress Robin Wright turns 59 today.
She was Jenny in Forrest Gump.
Oh, Tom scores one.
Look at
But
you.
I still go back to Princess Buttercup in The Princess Bride. One of the greatest movies ever made. John Lennon's son, Julian, turns 62 today.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when that
Tom?
song came.
So he's outlived his daddy or what?
Yes. Tom, for bonus points, what Beatles song was written about him?
About Julian?
Julian Lennon. The song that the Beatles did is one of their biggest hits ever. And it was written about him. Yes. Ding, ding, Tom. He got it. I can't
What
believe
was it?
Hey, Jude.
I'm kicking your butt today, Monica.
Yeah, you are.
Izzy Stradlin is 63 today. Tom, who is that? Kevin? Give him a hint.
I already know.
Well, give him a hint.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Let it play.
All
Let it
right,
play.
for the bump.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm stealing those off of YouTube.
Yeah,
The commercial kicked off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tom's like that headbanger
like
music.
Perfect cleaning
How could
music.
you guys listen to that trash?
Jonathan Kent on Smallville turns 65 today. His real name, of course, is Monica.
Clark Kent.
I don't know.
Jonathan
that
Kent
one.
on Smallville is also a country music star and was on another show in the 70s with a car.
John Schneider.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. John Schneider turned 65 today.
Maybe.
Can you name one of his songs? Kevin?
But Lord, I swear there's nothing anywhere.
Country Girls.
Mm-hmm. We play that here.
Yeah, all the time.
This country girl is sweeter than Tupelo honey.
Back me.
Bo Duke.
Yeah.
So when you hear that song where they talk about hood sliding like Bo Duke, that was John Schneider. Steve Howe is 78 today. Tom, who is that? Or
he used to pitch for the LA Dodgers.
No. Name one of the bands he was in. He was in two very famous bands.
Stevie Nicks.
One in the 70s, one in the 80s.
Stevie Nicks is not a band.
Steve
That's a person.
Howe.
Asia.
Yes, that's the 80s band.
Yes, I knew that.
And yes is the other one.
Around the lake. Knowledge come out of the sky.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
Asia. Damn commercials.
I know. Stuart Pankin turned 79 today. I'm just going to skip Tom on this one.
The big fat guy.
He, of course, was famous for being the voice of Earl in the TV series Dinosaurs.
Oh,
Really
the
lost you
little
on that
in
one, didn't I?
No, he sat in the high chair and he would say, "Not the baby, not the baby."
He was Earl, the dad.
Oh, okay, he was the dad.
Darlene Gillespie turns 84 today. What is she known from?
Darlene.
No.
I have no idea.
She was on the original Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, wow.
Turns 84. And finally, Peggy Lennon. I like how he's still playing Yes. Of the Lennon sisters turns 84 today. And if you know who I'm talking about, you're old. Because I had to go look it up. So there you go.
You beat me today, Tom.
Tom scored 36 million points today, and Monica got 30 million points today.
You didn't listen to Yes, right, Tom?
No, I didn't ever listen to that, guys.
You don't know what you're missing. God bless
he does
you.
Not.
All right, on the way, we're going to talk about the city mayor in Albuquerque and the council disagreeing on opiate settlement money. A man named Speedy Gonzalez is arrested. You're not going to believe what he was arrested for. And they seized $175,000 off an illegal alien. By the way, don't carry that type of cash around. The government can seize it at any point unless you can prove how you obtained that money. And Ben Ray Lujan talking about families again in New Mexico. We will get to that and more on the way this morning. And a McDonald's employee arrested over ranch dressing.
What?
I'm totally blown away. I just
It's
don't
a
get
funny
it.
story.
Yeah.
I'm
got
going to use that story as my boob of the day. So that's
Look,
that's
you
the
want to
tease
use
for
it? You can use it. I can toss it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll toss it. We'll do the boob of the day. We'll do the boob of the day about the ranch dressing. All right, we got to get to our national anthem and our pledge. We're KWMW, Malchamore, 105.1 FM, KWES, 93.5 Ruidoso, and KDAZ AM, 796.9 FM in Albuquerque. It's Albuquerque Conservative Talk. National anthem and the pledge being brought to you by Rebecca Long, your Farmers Insurance agent. She's been around now for 40 plus years helping folks, still helping people today. Look, she started when she was 19 years of age, opening up with farmers. She can help you bundle your policies together. You know, she's got the knowledge to figure out how to save you money. One of the most important things she can do is evaluate all your policies to make sure you're not underinsured. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance, recreational insurance. She can take care of all of that. Call Rebecca Long, 575-393-2661. National Anthem and the Pledge being brought to you by Rebecca Long.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and I'm from College Lane Elementary, and I'm going to be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see
by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
$8:19 after 8. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in control.
From 1 Corinthians this morning. Now, brothers, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received and on which you have taken your stand.
Hello, I'm here with my wife Dixie, and I'm Blaise Campanella with Judah Oil. We pray that as you go through your day, that you will see all the blessings you've been given. God said that He will prosper you and not harm you. See, in a world that is lost, God is there. Yes, in the most empty place, your most fearful circumstance, God is there. He will never leave you. Never forget, Jesus loves you. He really, really does. Please take a moment and pray the Lord's Prayer with us. God bless you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
821, we're beyond the Breakfast Club. News this morning being brought to you by Luke Ragsdale, Ragsdale Law Firm, reminding you when accidents happen, it's when you usually least expect them. When they do, you need a trusted law firm. So remember the name Luke Ragsdale and the Ragsdale Law Firm, a firm that will fight for you, specializing in car accidents, personal injury, also medical malpractice, and oil-field accidents. They're based in Roswell, serving the entire state. They offer free consultation, and you never pay unless they win your case. Call Luke Ragsdale today, 575-208-5300, online at theragsdalelawfirm.com. When you need a trusted law firm, RagsdaleLawFirm.com for more information. 8:22, we're coming back. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Stocks start the morning higher after days of losses since President Trump announced new worldwide import tariffs, higher for some countries with so-called reciprocal tariffs starting tomorrow. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox Business.
There are 50, 60, maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June.
China says it'll fight to the end as President Trump threatens even higher tariffs if their new tariffs on American products aren't lifted. The Supreme Court lifts a hold on deportations under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox.
These are enemies of our state, of our country, and they should be deported.
The court says migrants must be allowed to challenge accusations in court. In Texas, where they're detained, not in D.C., where the lawsuit was filed. Some of those deported Venezuelan migrants deny accusations. They're gang members. America's listening to Fox News.
It's time time for the 76th annual membership meeting for Lee County Electric. Join them on Friday, April 25th during regular business hours in Lovington and Tatum, New Mexico, and Plains, Texas. Attendees will receive a registration gift, have the opportunity to vote, and be entered for the grand prize of $2,500 from Lee County Electric. Lovington will host a drive-thru event, while Tatum and Plains will open their lobbies for registration. To streamline your registration process, find a personalized registration card in the back of the April issue of the Enchantment magazine. The business portion of the meeting will be streamed on Facebook Live at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. Lee County Electric, 76 years strong, owned by those we serve.
Cal Shade Western in Carlsbad is now hiring for all positions. We're looking for hard-working, dependable folks to join our team as bartenders, waitresses, front desk attendants, bowling alley mechanics, pin chasers, security, cleaners, and stock handlers. Whether you're pouring drinks or keeping the pins rolling, or you just want to help our guests have a great time, there's a place for you in Cal Shade Western. Apply today in person at 1611 South Canal Street in Carlsbad. 1611 South Canal Street in Carlsbad. Honest, dependable people only. This is your chance to shine. Cal Shade Western, where work feels like home. Don't wait. Apply today.
Working for the GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility in Hobbs is not going to be anything like you see on reality TV. The true reality of the GEO Group? The GEO Group will pay you while you're trained to be a corrections officer. You get a 90-day $1,000 sign-on bonus, and then you get another $1,000 bonus upon certification completion. The GEO Group is proud to offer a community setting built for true rehabilitation through structured living and an incredible staff. Join the family today. GEO Group at Lee County Correctional Facility. Apply online at jobs.geogroup.com or call Jade at 575-392-4055. GEO Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hunting is conservation. At the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, we salute hunters for providing the majority of conservation funding across the U.S. Join us for our yearly fundraising banquet, April the 12th, Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, 2500 Southeast Main in Roswell, New Mexico. Great food, games, raffles, and live auction. Get your tickets at rmef.org New Mexico event. rmef.org New Mexico events.
Hi, this is Danny Kirkendall with Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We're celebrating 100 years in business here on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia, and we invite you to come see us for your new Chevy, GMC, or a just perfect pre-owned vehicle. Our GM certified team is ready to assist you, so give us a call at 575-746-3551 or visit us online at guychevy.com.
Guy Chevrolet celebrating 100 years at the corner of 1st and Main in downtown Artesia.
Ruidoso Downs Racetrack is gearing up for fun on the run all summer long.
And it all begins with a special preseason appearance by Texas country music superstar
Pat Green.
Pat Green performs at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack as part of the $25,000 All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Fest Saturday, May 3rd.
Watch the best regional barbecue teams in the Southwest compete for a chance to qualify for the American Royal Nationals, plus shopping vendors, the Kentucky Derby, and Pat Green with special guests Eric Wills and Brian Mars.
All-American Comeback Barbecue and Music Festival takes place all day long.
With Pat Green on stage at 8 p.m.
Tickets are available now at raceruidoso.com. That's raceruidoso.com to see Pat Green.
Saturday, May 3rd at Ruidoso Downs Racetrack and Casino. Telephone the box office at 575-378-4140 to see Pat Green.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm carrying on.
And for fun on the run all summer long, visit raceruidoso.com.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Bellis today.
Hello, all you happy people.
Tom A is in charge, like the water boy is in charge of game plans.
Bee and the Breakfast Club in the morning. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Be in the Breakfast Club.
Are you in the house?
Already 827. This weekend, I was busy putting together liners. I had to roll out some of the old ones from back in the day.
I like them.
Yeah.
Thought I
like
forgot
the old
them.
ones.
Yeah, you thought I forgot, huh?
You're not original no more. I get a couple of the new ones.
Well, maybe.
You didn't like Cinnamon or The Water
Just
Boy?
like them TV shows and the movies, they're all reruns.
Yeah, well, sometimes the reruns are the best. Boy, I had a great day today. I got back from the gym. It was late and got back from the gym, and my little buddy Nino was waiting for me at the house. I had promised that I would buy him a pair of shoes for basketball. Basketball season starts next week, and I had promised I'd buy him a pair of shoes. So this is my friend that is I don't know if he's mentally challenged. He's got tiny hands, and he's nonverbal. And so when I got home, he pointed to his feet, and so I was like, So went and took him to buy a brand new pair of kicks. So he's ready. He's ready for basketball season. So he is the sweetest individual, but at the same time hard-headed. Sometimes he doesn't want to deal with people, and maybe I relate with him. So sometimes I don't want to deal with people.
How old
either.
is he, Kevin?
Nino is like 8 or 9. His mother died 2 years ago, and so everybody kind of raises him because he's kind of, the old saying, the village raises
Takes
the
a
kids.
village. Yeah.
Yeah. And so his sister and one of his brothers, they've got school, they got college. So they try. The father is, he's probably drinking by 9 a.m. in the morning. So the kid is out on his own. So usually I'll get him a couple donuts in the morning and we feed him in the afternoon. So
he knows where you're at in the morning and in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, he knows my schedule.
Oh,
but it was kind of weird because I came home a little late and he's waiting on me. And I asked the mother-in-law how long he's been waiting. No, he's been here about an hour. Good for him. He's persistent. Looks like a Missouri museum gathered about 309 people in banana hats and broke the world record. 309 people. That's a large bunch of bananas. Well, I mean, they did it, banana hats, and they are a bunch. Florida middle school principal.
That's just
I had this story. Was arrested after he attempted to skip a scanning at Walmart self-checkout, which means that he'll swap lunch at the school cafeteria for the jail cafeteria. Yeah, they busted this guy. Evidently was taking all kind of items and not paying for them. How much do you think Walmart loses in theft by stuff like that every year? I bet the number is pretty significant, but still cheaper than paying people. Still cheaper than paying people to check you. Tom, the player for the Toronto Blue Jays signed that big agreement, $500 million, 14-year contract starting in 2026. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a $500 million contract. Wow. And Elton John says he believes that his musical Tammy Faye shut down because it was too political. No, it probably just wasn't that great. And Minecraft globally took in over $310 million over the weekend.
Wow.
That's a buttload of money. Albuquerque mayor and city council do not agree on the opiate settlement and how to spend that money. So Albuquerque will get a lot of money, get millions of dollars from the opioid settlement. That those settlement funds should be coming in for the next decade. But the latest decision over what to do with that money has sparked a disagreement between the mayor and the city council. Keller administration is pushing for the city council to change its proposal. The mayor wants to spend that on existing programs, while the city council wants to see other nonprofits get access to the money, but the mayor wants the money. See where that works, Tom? Councilors want to dole out the money, where the Keller administration, they want the 14 mil. The councilors want to divide it up. Albuquerque Public Schools, substance abuse prevention for kids, they'll get some of that money. And then other service organizations will get part of that money that helps deter drugs in Albuquerque. But Keller said, no, we want the bulk of the money, the 14 mil. We'll see where that plays out. By the way, he can probably veto what their decision, whatever it is. And Speedy Gonzalez is accused of stealing $20,000 from Walmart. Yes, his name is actually Speedy Gonzalez. He's 40 years old, and that's his real name. His real name is Speedy. Caught on surveillance video at Walmart in Georgia, in Gainesville, Georgia, carrying out a series of thefts at the store and multiple Walmart stores. By the way, this guy has a criminal history in Gainesville and other cities around Gainesville. Yeah, stealing all kinds of stuff. But, kind of strange. Some of the stuff he would steal, high-priced stuff, but then he'd go in there and steal nicotine gum, diabetic strips.
Man.
Very, I think he was just, he liked stealing.
Mm-hmm.
What a little rat. Cops say that they caught Speedy Gonzalez with the help of Sylvester the cat. Yeah, Sylvester. Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about $175,000 seized. Tom, if you've got a buttload of cash, can the police confiscate that money until you prove where you got that money?
They better not.
They can.
Really? So they better not.
Better be able to prove it that it's not taught.
No. The burden of proof is on you.
The thing,
if you're walking around with $10,000, $15,000 in cash, you have to prove that you got that money out of the bank or somehow you made that money.
I won it at the casino. What else you want to know?
Well, you have to show proof that you won at the casino.
I just have my little slip, man.
So we'll talk about that up next. Text line 836. Monica.
All right. Adam from Carlsbad, I read your text. But I'm not going to read them out loud. Why not talk about Juan Soto of the New York Mets contract, which is larger at 15 years, $765 million.
Yeah, but this guy just signed the contract.
Yeah. Pedro Guerrero Jr. was Pedro Guerrero Sr.'s dad. He played for the Dodgers back in the 80s.
So you mean Senior is the dad of Junior?
Right.
Wow.
Linda in Carlsbad said, I have a friend who will not use a regular checker at the store because she's ashamed that she is on EBT.
Now I got a question about EBT, guys. Is that federal? For example, Texas outlawed buying chips, candy, and Coke with it.
Mm-hmm, junk food.
Can they come to New Mexico and use that card and still buy those items?
It's regulated by the state.
I think Texas can only be spent at Texas.
It's
regulated by the state.
So it's not federal. You can't go next door.
Now the money does come from the feds, but it's regulated by the state.
Okay. Yes. Now I know. Okay. Cool.
Do you have Texas or New Mexico?
No, neither.
I think Ben Ray Lujan and Tom are brothers, and they share the same brain, says the text.
Well, they could.
The way station is open between Loving and Carlsbad on 285. Tom, there's an update on the Lee County Sheriff's page about the high-speed chase from Andrews County that ended in Hobbs.
And Patricia from West Odessa. Kevin, you wouldn't believe how much damage Walmart deals with off the truck that we deliver to them.
I can only imagine. Wow. By the way, I heard that noise. I was like, what is that noise? It sounds like a hissing noise. No, that's rain hitting my steel roof.
Yeah.
You can use one state's food stamps in another state.
Can you?
Huh, I didn't know that. That's what
I
I
know
I
it's
was gonna
regulated
say,
by the state.
I know that whenever they were giving the kids those PEBT food stamps during the COVID season or whatever, we could use them on Amazon. So I think if you can use them on Amazon,
right?
Right. I think you can use them. I do remember. Yeah. Yes, you can. You can use them like at Sam's and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Mitchell from Lubbock said, "Well, that's
I
New
stand
Mexico to
corrected.
Texas. I don't know if Texas can come in to New Mexico and use them."
I know that all those programs are administrated by the state,
Mhm.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
All you guys know that if you give Walmart your money, you're supporting liberals' agendas, right?
I know.
Yep.
Mitchell from Lubbock, and he never played in the MLB in the 80s, LOL.
Mitchell, you're dead wrong.
Read the one before it.
He
Tom, you're wrong again. Vlad Sr. never
No,
played
sir.
for the Dodgers, and he never played in the MLB in the 80s. Go, fight.
He played for Albuquerque. The team was known as the Dodgers then, as a rookie, and then he made it to the major leagues with the Dodgers, who were then the parent team of the Albuquerque Dodgers.
No,
Before they were known as the Isotopes.
they were known as the Dukes.
Yeah. So they were the parent team. I know. I watched the guy. I know. Hello, Mitchell. You're dead wrong, dude.
I don't like whenever you say, I know this because I watched this, or I did this because I did this. Because when we tell you
I
that,
fell asleep at that park.
we know you
I
did
fell
this.
asleep right there.
It doesn't matter to you when we tell you, we know, I didn't. But when you say it, you want everybody to listen, dang it.
There you go.
Of course he does.
Speedy
By
Gonzalez
the way,
is what they call a paid booster. So the expensive stuff he was probably stealing to sell, but the inexpensive stuff he was sent in to get specifically, said D-Lo. Oh. And Tom A needs a new name. Maybe Torta Man. We'll read a few more. We got a couple more. Man, these people complaining colonizers are dumb. America took the land from Great Britain. That's what the revolution was. America purchased huge swaths from Spain, Mexico, and France, too. If colonizers are bad, why do Mexicans speak Spanish, have Spanish names in Spanish cities, and eat Spanish food? You would think that Mexican people would denounce Mexico, Spanish culture, Spanish language, and what they did to the Mayans and the Aztecs. The normal and, in fact, most Mexican people are proud of their culture, just as we are proud of our American culture. The complainers are just dumb and can't think for themselves, says Eric.
What was the number I gave the other day? That like 60% of people from Mexico have Caucasian blood in them.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what you...
Yeah, I think it's
percentage
61%.
It was
Yep.
a very high percentage. And last one. I would like to invite everyone to come to the Lady Wildcat softball doubleheader game versus Dexter at 5 and 7, with 8 seniors being recognized after game 2 for senior night. Come out and support these athletes. Several of them will be off to college and will be paying for their respective colleges and universities. Sounds fun.
We serve hot dogs out there. I'll be out there.
Tom will be out there for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Not the
no doubt.
Mama Old.
He'll
Okay.
be eating all the stuff he's not supposed to.
It's 8:42.
All right, Blake, we're going to get...
Oh, can I ask the Rig Outfitters giveaway question?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get to the boob of the day coming up. And Ben Ray Lujan, we got to talk about little Ben Ray and the money that was seized when
All
we
right.
take a break.
Okay, so just a reminder, if you've already won, you can answer, but you can't win. Our question for our Rig Outfitters is, what did Tom A say he sold in Odessa yesterday on the show? He said he sold something. What did Tom A say that he sold?
No, it wasn't in Odessa, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lived in Odessa at that time. He said he sold something.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because he said that he lived there, but before he said he didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. On your mark, set, go.
All right, love to hear from you. First texter, is that what we're looking for?
Yes, and if you've already won, you can't win again.
There you go.
Correct.
All right, it looks like last Friday night, Ben Lilharn said early into Saturday morning, Senate Republicans rammed through their bipartisan, or make that partisan, budget-gutting Medicaid funding for children and families. Nearly every Senate Republican voted against the U.S. Senate Democrats amending Medicaid, and SNAP for millions of Americans. Little Ben Ray, let me just say this much. New Mexico is not the shining star of America. We're not the perfect example of what it takes to be a great state, because 61% of our population is on some form of government assistance. At some point, this state has to bring jobs to New Mexicans so they can get off the government teat and get back to work. And that should be a goal, that people get off of public assistance and get to work. Because the government is not your baby's daddy. It's not the government's job to take care of the citizens. It is the citizens' job to take care of their own kids. Government ain't your baby's daddy. I think Trump ought to take that up, and that should be on a plaque at the welfare office. The government ain't your baby's daddy. In New Mexico, Border Patrol checkpoint, a Romanian man with $175,000 in cash. El Paso sector, Border Patrol Chief Agent Walter Salas posted the picture on X of the seizure of $175,000 in cash money. They believe it's part of a national organized crime ring coming into the United States. So, Tom, what is the amount of money you can carry legally?
I'm going to say 10 grand.
Yeah, $9,999. $9,000. Over the weekend, I was watching the Border Patrol TV show, and they were in Nogales, and they stopped a group of people, and they had cash. And then once they searched the vehicle, they had over $300,000 in cash.
That'll get you in trouble.
Under the dash and all kind of other stuff. You think that was that was like cartel money?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. But these people lost their money. How could they prove that that money was not obtained illegally? I don't think in this case they can, because they were bringing it into the country. When I leave the country, $9,999.
Yep.
That's how much I bring. Legally. That's how much you can bring. If not, you have to you actually have to fill out forms and declare it. And I don't want to declare. I don't want the government knowing anything.
And then when you declare that amount of money, then they're going to want you to pay taxes on that money.
Yeah. So I don't want the government. That's why I always carry, $999. Usually it's $990 because I want to have a little wiggle room.
Right.
Yeah. Just a tad bit of wiggle room. All right, let's get to the boob of the day, being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics, medical professionals on staff. Look, if you're suffering, they offer stem cell therapy. They also have ozone therapy. That's what I do, the ozone therapy. I get the shots in the knees and in my back, and it really helps me. So if you're hurting and suffering, there are alternatives. And ladies, if you're going through menopause and you've got some issues with your hormones, they can do hormonal optimization. And guys, I can't say how much testosterone has changed my life. It has enabled me to get back in shape. It has changed. Pretty much everything. I can actually gain muscle again. I have energy. My metabolism is completely changed. It used to be if I looked at a donut, I would gain 5 pounds.
Yeah. They're looking at me.
Doesn't happen that way. Doesn't happen that way because it's changed my metabolism. 3900 North Lovington Highway. Get in there for that deep dive into your blood work. Let them find out what's going on. Let them check and see where your testosterone level is. 575-964-8025. Visit them online or on Facebook. Proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
There's a certain lawlessness that happens at fast food establishments, which can surely make it a difficult place to work. But that doesn't mean you can take people's necks into your own hands. A 31-year-old woman named Akina Sampson was working at McDonald's in Florida, of course, when she saw a teenage girl walk behind the counter to grab some ranch dipping sauce. The girl later said she did it because she was being ignored by the staff, as most people who go to fast food establishments can attest. So Akina flipped out and she grabbed the girl's arm. And when the girl tried to break free, then she grabbed the girl's neck and took her off the ground and choked her again when they were on the floor. Someone called the cops and the investigation was pretty cut and dry. The altercation was caught on video and the victim had visible injuries to her neck and elbow. Akina was charged with child abuse.
Oh, wow.
Because the girl was young and she was 31 and decided she wanted to strangle her for just getting some ranch dressing for her nuggets.
Yikes.
And for that, Kevin, she is the Boob of the Day.
Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine Anesthetics. Check them out today. We're going to get to news, a check of the weather on the way in just a second. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. And I don't know about you. I am sick and tired. Tomorrow I'll have this cut. Somebody's saying the days of Rosa Parks are over. Tom, what is she known for?
You said Parker. I think you're meaning
Rosa Parks.
Yeah,
Parker.
She was known as the lady who
Parks. I'm sorry, Parks.
She was known for the lady who refused to
give up her seat.
in the back of the bus.
Anyway, there are people saying that Austin Metcalf, the kid that got killed at the track meet last Friday, that he deserved to die. He got what he deserved. Rosa Parks' days are over. No, it is. Look, you cannot stab somebody. You cannot stab somebody because they tell you to get out of their tent and then put their arm on you to direct you out of their tent. That is not a stabbing friendly zone. You can't stab somebody. And what the hell has happened with two young men getting in a fist fight? You know what happens in a fist fight? You live to fight another day.
Oh, you sound like Smokey's dad. Not Smokey's dad. What's his name's dad? The one on Friday.
We have made it. We have made fighting into a bad thing. Instead, we got young men killing young men over stupid stuff. You're not supposed to be in this tent. I put my hand on you to tell you to get out, and that nobody deserves to die for that.
Correct.
Now, if you'd have punched him in the face, no problem. No problem. But you were in their tent. But justifying somebody murdering somebody is not cool. It's not about that it was a black man that stabbed a white kid or vice versa if that would have been the case. We started telling kids not to fight anymore. And so they go right to stabbing or shooting somebody. It's pretty sad. Democrat senator blocked hundreds of Trump nominees, even though at one point, Democratic Senator Brian Schwartz called that an abuse of power.
He did.
When they were stalling the nominations for the Biden administration, that's what he called it, abuse of power. But now they're doing it with Trump. Right. There are like 12 agencies that are on hold right now.
Yeah. Again, they speak out of both sides of their mouth.
Of course. Yeah. And did you guys see the pool competition that ended with a trans on trans finals?
No.
Yep.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It was supposed to be a women's pool tournament, and it ended with two
But
dudes
it ended
playing
up
each
with
other.
trans on trans.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Lord have mercy.
In
Why
the
not just call
finals
it
of
a
the
trans
ultimate-
competition?
Yeah.
Because
the
they beat all the
ultimate
women.
pool women's pro series event, day 2. Harriet Hayes and Lucy Smith.
Neither of which are women.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
Where they
man.
both know about balls.
And sticks.
Correct.
Sticks. Yes.
Sorry.
And that's actually, you know what? That's actually a sport that, you know, women and men probably can compete at the same level.
Probably.
yeah.
Probably.
You know,
Yeah, that's that's something where I don't think that a guy actually has an advantage at, because it's not.
I agree.
It's not
I
a
agree.
physiological advantage.
What do you mean? Sticks and
looks like
balls?
No, pool.
Oh.
Because it's
I
about.
was gonna say, y'all
it's
better
about-
know about sticks and balls.
It's about angle, control of hitting the ball.
Yep.
Putting
exactly.
spin on it, etc.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Major garment producer in Bangladesh says that U.S. buyers are halting their orders in light of the tariffs, and those jobs might be moving to the United States. Textile and garment production accounts for about 80% of exports in Bangladesh. Tom, where is Bangladesh?
India.
It's in India. Isn't Bangladesh its own country?
What's over there? India's a big country, ain't it? It's inside there.
But Bangladesh is its own country. Isn't it?
But it's in India.
Tom?
Hey Siri,
No,
where is Bangladesh?
it's not its own country.
Here it is on the map. No, I don't want directions. I just want to know where it's
How do you get there?
How do you dang get there?
Hey, Alexa, where is Bangladesh?
This is
Oh,
funny.
you just Alexa is not on an iPhone.
It's not?
No.
Well, no wonder she's not answering me.
Lord,
God.
have
Do you have one of those
mercy.
at home, Tom?
What's the other lady's name? Siri?
And yes, Bangladesh is its own country.
See, I told you.
Alexa to his iPhone.
Where is it between, Tom?
India and Pakistan.
No, it's surrounded by India.
Oh, well, it's in their neighborhood.
Pakistan's on the other
It's right
side.
there.
On the
It's
other,
right there in the-
Pakistan is on the other side of India.
Yeah.
I just hear it
between
like
India and Burma.
in music, like some like rap.
There's a
songs. They're
little
like,
bitty part of Bangladesh that touches
Don't
Burma.
they got some nice resorts over there?
Dubai?
No.
You talking about Dubai?
No. Oh.
Dubai is not close to India.
No. So, Blake, have you you saw the story about the Doge cuts? They found $51 million in African. Now, this is what Kamala Harris was proud of. She went to Africa and they made deals. She spent like 2 weeks in Africa listening to the music there at the recording studios. But they discovered $229,000 that was set aside to market shea butter.
Right.
$51 million to the U.S. African Development Foundation.
For shea
This
butter.
is all money that does nothing for America. Doesn't put $1 in an American's pocket.
Nope.
You call me a hater. I'm all about, if it ain't good for America,
Look,
it ain't good to spend money on.
all those programs are about spreading socialism, not
Yep.
not democracy, and
Yep.
or they are designed to funnel money back into the pockets of U.S. politicians.
There you go. They say like U.S. aid, like say they had $100 million. Only $20 million went to that cause. The rest of the money was divvied up in between politicians in that country and in our country. Yeah, not good. Man shot by grandma during a invasion in Albuquerque. So confronting the man who threatened her life, the Albuquerque grandma had her day in court, facing the person who broke into her home, whom she eventually shot. The man who was shot's name is Joseph Rivera. He was sentenced to prison time on Monday. The woman who shot him took the stand, asked the judge to give him a maximum sentence. While sharing the moment, she shot Rivera to protect her grandmother's lives. Now, you remember this story because it was on every Mark Ronchetti ad.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yep.
I remember.
This guy had just gotten out of jail, I do believe, also. But she shot him to protect her granddaughter.
Yep.
By the way, defense asked the judge for 6 years, arguing that Rivera had a tough upbringing. So that's an excuse now. By the way, he was sentenced to 8 years behind bars, 4 years of probation. Rivera did not address the judge or the victim. He had a tough life. By the way, he had 4 prior convictions.
Huh. Imagine that.
Well, we just keep letting them out. All right, we got to take a break. We'll keep you updated. Good news of the day on the way. Text line first, then we'll take our break. Morning show this morning being brought to you by WWRV times3.com, 988-0392. Yeah, give them a call today. Talk to them about their RVs, hookups. They've got 3 parks and 162 RV hookups, 30 and 50 amps available. Utilities included for one low price, and that includes your high-speed internet that's wired right to your hookup. Plenty of street lights. They're pet-friendly. Great place to park your RV. WWRV times3.com for more information. Text line.
As a lifetime Albuquerque baseball fan, this Texas fan, I can tell you that Tom is correct. Albuquerque had 2 different teams, which were called the Dukes. The first Dukes teams was originally called the Dodgers for the first year or 2, says the texter. You know, I've been there too, and they got a nice museum. And guess who's in uniform there? Guerrero Sr. So, Mitch, take a hike.
Did you see his text that he sent in? That has Vladimir Guerrero batting statistics the year that he played?
No, I didn't see it.
It's like 94 to 2012.
All right. We asked the Rig Outfitters question, and the correct answer was water softeners. But I do appreciate those of you who said Tom sold his nalgas, because would you buy him if he was selling them? And also somebody said his brown underwear, which I thought was hilarious. Congratulations to Bill Woolley, who won today's tumbler water softeners. Did you sell them, Tom? Were you successful?
Oh, yeah. I saw tons of them.
Water softener.
And to the person who said you should make it the 10th text a little more fair, I will do that tomorrow. That is a very good idea. Thank you for that valuable input. Tom said he sold Tesla fans. Did you really?
What are those?
Okay, he didn't say that. When Tom says I'm retired, it sounds like he says the other thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, it does.
How the heck does Tom know where Bangladesh is, but doesn't know where 529 is in Lee County?
It's probably because of the George Harrison song, you know.
Bangladesh. And Monica, Bangladesh is in the continent of Asia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I saw that. Siri showed me that. Bangladesh is its own country.
And by the way, there was one that was addressed to me that says, please look at the Constitution. America is a constitutional republic. It's actually a constitutional representative republic. And nowhere in the Constitution is democracy mentioned. Right. And I have not referred to America as a democracy. I said we are not promoting democracy in those other countries. We're promoting socialism. I never said America is a democracy.
Mitchell from
Yes.
Lubbock said, Tom, I'll say it again. You're an id. Vlad Sr. was born in 75, so there's absolutely no way he played professional baseball in the 80s. And also never played for a New Mexico minor league team. The only sports stat you've ever been right about is Emmitt Smith being the NFL all-time leading rusher. So shut your mouth and take accountability for being wrong. And then proceeds to send facts. Monica, please read my last text because Tom will butcher it and get offended. Your response to Mitchell?
Mitchell, you're a dog.
Mitchell, he's mad at you. I hate you all equally, says, who the heck wants ranch on nuggets? If you're like under the age of 10, that's who wants ranch on nuggets. I hate you all equally because my girls like their nuggets with ranch. I see where the cops were going. There's a battery on fire in Lee County. Not sure where. And I disagreed that they are all equal while playing pool. The woman has a larger counterweight so she can bend over the table further than most men can. Bottom line, it's not illegal
Sometimes.
to bring a knife to a school event. The alleged killer was wanting something to happen, period. Another bottom line, bad parenting. That's what I was going to say. Like, you know, I'm all for a good fight. I grew up watching kids fight. I got into a few fights myself with, you know, dumb girls or whatever. We were both dumb at the same time. And I get it. Like, throw hands, beat each other's butts, get over it. And then, like, in a few years, you guys might be best friends.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when you got in the fight, you got up, you dusted yourself off, you shook hands, and you went on your way, and you found that you respected each other.
Correct.
But we have made fist fighting, into such a demonized thing that kids just kill kids now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been taught, like, easy. Like, we want everything fast, fast, fast. We want retaliation fast, fast, fast. And then we've taught these kids, I say these kids because my kids are kind of like this too. They feel entitled to everything. So, like, if the kid was sitting somewhere where he wasn't supposed to, like, how dare somebody tell him, like, hey, you know, this isn't your spot, bro, move. Like, go to back to your school. And then, of course, you have the whole black and white thing. If this kid thought that the white kid was bullying him or whatever, oh, you just want me to leave because I'm black or what, you know what I mean? And then this white kid was like, nah, bro, I just want you to leave because this is my spot. Like, I don't care what color you are. Boom, pushes him. And
Get
then he
on
comes,
out of here.
Yeah, and then comes back.
And nobody deserves. Look, maybe the Metcalf kid did wrong by what he did, but nobody deserves to die over this.
Correct. And that needs to be the argument whenever they go to court. Like, nobody,
Look,
no point.
It's point blank. I mean, was it, did he intentionally, was it first degree murder? Probably not. But he said the words, if anybody touches me, they're going to pay. Multiple people heard him say that. It was on Fox News this morning. So when you say that and then you have a knife and you go fetch that knife instead of just walking away and you stab somebody and kill them, done. You're going to jail for the rest of your life.
So
or at least you should.
Most states in their laws have an obligation to retreat. And the only place that you don't have an obligation to retreat is at your home.
Right.
You know, I remember specifically, and this hits home. There was a kid in Hobbs. He went by the name of DJ. I hope that his mom doesn't mind me using his story. But he basically whooped this kid's butt at one of the, like, homie clubs or whatever in Hobbs. It's been several years ago. Whooped his tail. And the kid was like, DJ was like 15, and the kid was older, maybe 17, 18. Well, the older kid just couldn't stomach that the young kid had just beat his butt. So he went and got a gun and then came back and shot DJ. When they released his, what do you call that picture? Whenever they arrested him, the mugshot, you could see that he was visibly, of course, he had just gotten his butt whooped. And so I'm just saying, like, this story, like, it's happened before, like, where people just can't stand being pushed or.
So did he kill him?
Whoop. Yeah, the guy that got his butt whooped came back and killed DJ.
Sad.
That is sad.
All right, we got to take a break so we stay on time. Let's get updated with news this morning being brought to you by Fusion Medical Spa, featuring vitamin C specials for the month of April, which means that 25% off all vitamin C procedures and products. Did you know vitamin C is perfect? It's a perfect remedy for skin and energy issues. Nothing better than vitamin C. And this month, Fusion is offering 25% off all vitamin C IV treatments, 25% off IV vitamin C skin treatments, plus supplements, and the Diamond Glow vitamin C treatments. They were $185. Right now, they're just $100. They're offering free gifts with every procedure or purchase of products, and they are offering laser hair removal, 20% off. Dr. Rath offering stem cell therapy on shoulders and joints and knees. It's a procedure where they use your own white blood cells to heal your body without going under the knife with surgery. Give Dr. Rath a call, 575-257-4SPA. That's 257-4772. Find him in the River Crossing in Ruidoso. We're coming right back. 9:09. Be on the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. After the second child death was confirmed by officials due to measles outbreak, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made a visit to the Hildebrand family after the loss of their 8-year-old daughter Daisy in Gaines County, Texas, Sunday afternoon. The first child passed away in West Texas in February. Another person died in New Mexico after testing positive for measles, although officials remain unsure if measles was the cause of death. There are now a reported 481 cases in the West Texas outbreak and 54 reported cases in New Mexico. 315 of the cases in Texas have been in Gaines County, and 52 of the 54 New Mexico cases have been in Lee County. On Friday, police were called to the Andrews, Texas High School Stadium for a report of a man who possibly had a gun at a middle school track meet that was happening at the stadium. APD officers restrained the man and escorted him out of the stadium, and investigators say they never found a gun or even a fake gun. The waste isolation pilot plant between Hobbs and Carlsbad has received about 7,500 shipments of nuclear waste from Idaho since the facility opened in 1999. Idaho National Laboratory, where nuclear weapons and energy research is conducted, reported the milestone as the lab pursues a legacy waste transfer plan expected to continue for at least 8 more years. Legacy waste refers to materials mostly left over from U.S. nuclear programs during the Cold War. Idaho National Laboratory is moving the waste to WIPP as a result of a 1995 lawsuit settlement between the state of Idaho and federal government requiring nuclear waste at the lab be removed from the state. The waste is buried at WIPP in a salt deposit about 2,000 feet underground. The salt gradually collapses on the waste, burying the refuse and blocking radiation from escaping. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
The Republican Party of Eddy County is holding their second annual Freedom to Shoot Sporting Clay fundraiser, May 17th at ATC Shooting Range in Carlsbad. Register by May 1st. All paid entries include breakfast, lunch, clays, and ammo. For more information on teams, fees, and prizes, go to eddy.gop.org. Thanks to the title sponsor, Strata Production Company. Sponsorships are still available, so don't be shy. Support the Second Amendment. Keep fighting for it and exercise it while you've still got it.
Old Jack's, Lovington's hometown drive-in, offering everything you need to heat up and cool down. From your favorite poncho burger to the best banana split around. They're even serving up some new desserts. This week's specials are the Steak Finger Dinner, the Scarlet Red Bull, and the Dr. Peachy Cream Drink. You can find their daily and weekly food and drink specials posted on Facebook. Old Jack's, 321 West Avenue D, or call ahead at 575-396-5328.
At National Furniture Liquidators, it's a tax time truckload sale featuring famous Ashley brand furniture. Truckload savings like an Ashley 2-piece sectional, just $7.97, or an Ashley queen mattress, $2.98, an Ashley sofa, just $3.97, or a table with 4 chairs and bench, just $7.77. Many more savings plus great financing options regardless of your credit. Ashley Tax Time Truckload Sale. When it comes to value, quality, and selection, nobody beats short.
There's a spring shower of bargains this week at Bob's Ridgeway. In the butcher shop, quarter loin pork chops, $1.69 a pound. Fresh lean brown beef, $2.99 a pound. In produce, juicy early season cantaloupe, $2.99 each. Haas avocados, 5-count bag, $2.99. In groceries, Kellogg's cereals, selected varieties, the big family size box for just $4.98. Betty Crocker hamburger helpers, $1.68 a box. Get the Craven original thin crust pizzas, the great big ones, 2 for $7. And Kraft macaroni and cheese, 5 boxes for $5. And these are just a few of over 150 big spring shower bargains this week, where your grocery dollar always goes farther. Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Your morning show powered by your Ford dealer. Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford. Be in the Breakfast Club. The human brain starts working the moment you are born and never stops. Unless you're Tom Hay.
Did you just have a brain fart?
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to B and the Breakfast Club.
Now with the most information for you to start your day.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
Welcome back to early coverage of The Masters. An almost endless loop of historic backstories and clips that we've shown you countless times before of past champions. Great names like Jack, Arnold, Tiger, Gary, Ben, Bobby, alongside other winning names like Sergio, Bubba, VJ, Fuzzy, and Fred. They are the masters of the Masters, which leads us into the next hour of highlight clips in our early coverage of the Masters on CBS.
That didn't sound right. The Masters of the Masters. I'm sorry, it just didn't sound right. In the political world, it just didn't sound right.
I think that's called comedy.
All right, Monica, these damn sunflower seeds, couldn't put them down during the break, but look at the camera.
I'm looking.
I couldn't find sunflower seeds, so...
Oh, my gosh. You know, I tried the ones
Did you buy every one at the store, or what?
He did. He said he bought them out. I bought the ones that somebody... the ones that are the hot and spicy dill pickle.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So I can't say no to sunflower seeds. Later on, I'm going to discover that sunflower seeds are something about them. It's not good. Mountain Resort in China has invested millions of dollars into a massive network of giant escalators to allow people to reach the mountain peak without actually having to exercise. Tom, they made this place exactly for you. They did. Good job. I mean, Gen Zers are like, oh, that's a dream of ours. Going to a resort, not having to do anything. As far as exercise, this is awesome. This is awesome. Heineken has created a prototype phone case that helps you with a very modern problem. Scrolling through social media at a bar while talking with each other. And yeah, on the side of it, it says cheers. So people will actually see cheers and they think you're being social, but you're not being social. What's the point of going to a bar with friends if you're going to be on your phone all the time?
I agree.
That could be a problem.
Or even dinner.
By the way, we talked about the anniversary of the U.S. Army, the big parade that they're going to be having?
Yeah.
And it's Trump's 79th birthday. That's going to be June 14th, Saturday, June 14th. Mark it on your calendar. A lot of people are poo-pooing the idea because it's going to cost money. They say it's going to cost a lot of money. Why would it cost that much money? Well, I guess you got to fly the airplanes there that are going to do the flyby. You got to get the tanks there.
But they got bases there already, though.
Yeah, we got a base in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, yeah.
Name the base in Washington, D.C.
It's called the D.C. base.
You just made that up off the fly of the right there, right?
I mean, what
D.C. base.
It is the national capital. They have bases there around D.C.
Oh, apparently not just one.
Andrews Air Force Base is right there.
No, not in D.C.
It's right in the area.
It's not in D.C.
So, and they got the Armored Guard, the National Guard there.
It's not a base.
They got a base from somewhere, right? They're there.
I said name the base.
So
keep trudging. Keep on. Children and first responders among the 23 dead following the tornadoes and the severe weather and the floods that happened. Historic flood levels recorded in Arkansas following the severe storms. 23 dead.
Wait, I just looked this up, and Tom is correct. There are what they call military bases in D.C.
Really?
They said each military branch has at least one D.C. base.
What?
Now, they're counting the Pentagon as a base, and they're counting Walter Reed Medical Center as a base. But apparently Fort McNair is the Army base, and Bolling Air Force Base they have.
How big is Fort McNair?
It's a building. They have a picture
that's
of
what I'm
it. It's a
thinking.
building. And so they said that there's 10 in Washington, D.C., but they're all things like that.
So my daughter's going there in 2 weeks to train.
Really?
They're in D.C. area, yeah. So I'm not going to go to Vegas after all to go see WrestleMania.
Like I said, they count Walter Reed Medical Center, the Pentagon, the Coast Guard headquarters, the Marine
I'm looking
Safety
at Fort
Center.
McNair. It is not really big.
No, the Coast Guard Response Center. Yep, they're counting. A Marine barracks is there. The Navy Yard, they're counting.
Not really big. Tom, book your trip. You can come here before we go back to the States.
Now, which one of the boys is going?
But technically, I just want to point out, Tom is correct on this one.
Thomas,
and we are wrong.
Hit the bell.
Kyle will be here on the 20. What did I tell you, Blake? 23rd, Monday the 23rd.
You said on the 21st.
21st, yes. 21st. So he'll be here on the 21st.
So he's going to be there for a while.
So I'll be off on the 21st. I gotta type that up and send it to Will. Meet Cleaver, wielding man, shot after stabbing 4 people. To actually stab 4 young girls in New York City. Guy with a meat cleaver. By the way, 911 call came in from a 11-year-old who said that she and her friends were stabbed by her uncle. Sounds like he was on drugs or going through a mental moment or something. Is what that sounds like. How do you get stabbed by a meat cleaver?
I don't know.
By the way, the kids ages 16, 13, 11, and 8.
Man.
Wow. Visitors to White Sands National Park in March had some record-setting numbers. Park had about 175,000 visitors this past year, which is 5% increase. But they said in the month of March, they saw 91,000 individuals in the month of March. That's a lot of people at White Sands. And, I've never been to the national park. I just stop on the side of the road and jump the fence.
Right.
Been there multiple times.
You cannot take sand with you. That's a felony. Did you know that?
Really?
Well, Tom, I'm sorry, but I carried some in my shoes.
We do have to get a break in before we do good news.
Yeah,
so
we're going to take a break. All right, we'll take a break, come back. News this morning being brought to you by our buddies at La Tienda in Pecos, Texas. They're offering a shower of savings going on. Fryer and drumsticks, thighs and drumsticks, 99 cents a pound. Pork chops, quarter loin for $1.69 a pound. London broil, $4.99 a pound. And ground beef, fresh, 73% lean, ground beef, $3.29 a pound. Asparagus in the produce department for $1.79 a pound. Cantaloupes for $2.99 a pound. Also avocados, 5-count bag for $2.99. And from the deli department, you could say big. They've got big savings in the deli department. And if you're looking for refreshments, they got you covered there with refreshments. Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, and other flavors, 20-pack for $12.99. Coming right back. It's already 9:24. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. It's been a big bounce-back day on Wall Street after 3 days of losses since President Trump announced widespread import tariffs. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett tells Fox he's managing requests for negotiations with the president.
We're actually getting ready to present a plan for him on, who and when.
Higher so-called reciprocal tariffs on some countries are scheduled to kick in tomorrow. Another senior military leader loses her job.
Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, who began her career as a helicopter pilot and was the first woman to be president of the Naval War College, had been serving as a senior official at NATO. Although no reason was given, AP reports that officials said it was apparently tied to comments Chatfield has made that supported diversity in the force.
Fox's Lillian Wu. At least 18 people are killed in a nightclub roof collapse in the Dominican Republic. Dozens of people are hospitalized. America's listening to Fox News.
It's time for the 76th annual membership meeting for Lee County Electric. Join them on Friday, April 25th during regular business hours in Lovington and Tatum, New Mexico, and Plains, Texas. Attendees will receive a registration gift, have the opportunity to vote, and be entered for the grand prize of $2,500 from Lee County Electric. Lovington will host a drive-thru event, while Tatum and Plains will open their lobbies for registration. To streamline your registration process, find a personalized registration card in the back of the April issue of the Enchantment magazine. The business portion of the meeting will be streamed on Facebook Live at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. Lee County Electric, 76 years strong, owned by those we serve.
There's a spring shower of bargains this week at Bob's Ridgeway. In the butcher shop, quarter loin pork chops, $1.69 a pound. Fresh lean brown beef, $2.99 a pound. In produce, juicy early season cantaloupe, $2.99 each. Haas avocados, 5-count bag, $2.99. In groceries, Kellogg's cereals, selected varieties, the big family size box for just $4.98. Betty Crocker hamburger helpers, $1.68 a box. Get the Craven original thin crust pizzas, the great big ones, 2 for $7. And Kraft macaroni and cheese, 5 boxes for $5. And these are just a few of over 150 big spring shower bargains this week, where your grocery dollar always goes farther. Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
You know Benny's Western Store in Artesia is your headquarters for boots, hats, shirts, and jeans. But did you know that Benny's also carries a huge assortment of firearms? Head down to 205 West Main to see the amazing discounts that are available on their firearms and ammo. Benny's also has a huge shipment of jewelry and FR clothing that is priced to sell. New items arriving weekly. You won't find a bigger selection at a better price anywhere. Benny's Western Store, 205 West Main in Artesia, or find them on Facebook.
This is Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, where our business is built on dreams and imagination. Right now, the Lincoln County real estate market has more buyers than sellers. What does that mean? It means that the local market of inventory of houses and ranches is low, but we have plenty of buyers ready and willing to purchase properties. So if you've been considering putting something on the market, it's a good time to get top dollar for your investment. Telephone my team of seasoned professionals at 575-257-3000. That's Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, online at rudoso-nm.com.
Pharmacy 575 is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Jessica Barrera to their team. From primary care to minor injuries, she is ready to care for our community. Walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are preferred. Offering the My Daily Medication program with pre-dose packaging, wellness consultations, weight loss plans, and more. Go see Pharmacy 575 at 305 East Sanger, Suite 600, or call 575-263-2908. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pharmacy 575. Your health, their priority.
Imagine a world where teams wore plain, uninspired uniforms. Functional? Sure. Eye-catching? Hardly. But as times evolved, so did the demand for standout styles. Enter the era of awesome graphics. Located at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs, New Mexico, they revolutionized team and work attire. Their secret? High-quality FR uniforms from renowned brands like Ariat, Lapco, Byrne, and Bulwark, paired with cutting-edge technology for vibrant, multicolored logos. Awesome Graphics bridges the gap, offering both sports and industrial uniforms that don't just fit well, they inspire. From Nike office shirts to Adidas and Oakley designs, they ensure every team and staff look as professional as they perform. They're not just about appearances at Awesome Graphics, they're about empowering teams. So if you're in Southeast New Mexico and need uniforms that speak volumes, the choice is clear. Visit myawesomegraphics.com and discover how they can elevate your team's image. Awesome Graphics, where style meets performance.
Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. But to be in the Breakfast Club.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
Beautiful morning on this beautiful morning.
The personalities bring it home to me, and I just love it.
Good news of the day this morning being brought to you by Farmers Insurance Agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington, 575-396-0513. Give them a call today. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance. Herschel Rustin Hayes, proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
Speaking of Washington, D.C., a guy in D.C. was going through a rough stretch when he had a dream that he'd become a millionaire. So he went out and bought a lottery ticket, and his dream nailed it. The ticket hit for $1 million.
Whoa.
And how's this for crossing party lines? A Democrat politician in Idaho named Brooke Green is fighting breast cancer. So a group of GOP lawmakers shaved their heads in solidarity. She said she never expected such a touching show of support, and it would have never happened if it was the other way around. Huh. Kevin, that is your good news of the day.
All right, we got to get out of here. Tomorrow, the Wednesday edition of Be in the Breakfast Club. Tradio is up next. News this morning being brought to you by Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. Your choice for your next HVAC job. If they've got a problem with your air conditioner or your heater, give Enrique Rocha a call today. And if your system is completely shot, talk to him about new technology like the inverter-driven heat pump. He would love to chat with you about that. It will save you a lot of money in energy savings. 575-631-1999, Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll see you tomorrow morning.